Well, welcome back everybody to First Lego League here in the UK for the International Championships, the Open Championships, and we're here at Bath University in the Sports Training Village, and what an arena it is. There are 93 teams here from all over the world, and it's going to be a fantastic day too. Yesterday, what a day. It was the first day of the actual robot games, and there was some fantastic runs from some of the teams. ROC were out there in the front at the end of the day. They had a run of 330 points, and that was absolutely exceptional. Although you can see there from the board at the moment up there, there is a lot of teams close up behind, and they're doing really well. They've got the German Eagles, Flaming Phoenix there. Obviously Flaming Phoenix, you probably won't know this, but they've actually come in from Bangalore in India, ROC over from Canada. So it's an international board, you can see. It's a great day. I mean, we've got some fantastic things coming up. We're going to be joined here in the studio by some of the experts and some of the competitors themselves, which will be absolutely brilliant. We're going to hopefully explain how the rules work, and we'll come on to that in a second. But it is a tricky thing to understand, but once we get those rules over to you, I'm sure you'll keep up. So during the day today, what can you expect? We'll be showing some of the actual games live. Hopefully the commentary will help you understand what's going on. And we'll also be cutting backwards and forwards between some of the fantastic things that are going on elsewhere in the building with projects and displays and all the rest of the things that are going on. So quickly, I suppose now the first thing we should do is probably quickly go and have a look at some of the rules. Let's have a look.
We're here in Bath for the first LEGO League. Thousands of teams across the globe have battled for a place.
93 teams have made it here today, and they've been refining their robots for months. It all comes down to this. Where are you from?
Peru! Peru!
What's your team name?
The Autobots! Sky!
Robo Echo!
People talk all the time about getting children involved in engineering. If you look around you today, these kids have got fantastic projects. If you look at their programming and the robots they've designed and built, they're just doing it and they're really enjoying it as it's happening. It's not about talking, it's not about what's the best way to do it. First LEGO League just makes it happen.
What is it that you like about engineering and this competition so much?
So I very much enjoy the problem-solving part of engineering. It's just really fun to try to think of different solutions for different problems.
I like about engineering that it enables me to do what I want, but I can create cool things by my own.
The ideas in your mind, like what you keep dreaming of, what you keep thinking of, you can do it in real life.
They absolutely embrace what the whole festival is about. They all seem to mingle and merge together and all dance and sing and enjoy the competition.
First LEGO League! Daisuki! Wij houden van LEGO League! Nos encanta First LEGO League!
Yeah, okay, so as you can see in this corner, there's a line here, goes all the way around. It's kind of like the corner of the mat, and it's called base. The important thing about this base is that the robot always has to start in this base. The whole of the robot must be in base when they start programs to try and do missions. These are some of the missions. So this is the Shark Tank. The aim of this mission is to try and get it in one of two targets, which will award the teams points. Different teams will do it, have different approaches to this map. I think it's a very bitty map because there's lots of stuff all over the place. So I expect some teams will definitely start with the Shark Tank here because it's easy, it's already in base for them to use. and they'll try and get it to this target.
So basically they're going to try and push or pick it up and pull it over here and actually get it into one of these two spaces and get different points.
So we have 2 different point scores for the shark. The easy box, which is this one here, you would get
7 points.
7 points, and then this one
10 points.
10 points, and a bonus for having your shark.
20 points for having it stood up.
Brilliant.
Okay, so this is a nice way of getting some quick early points on the board. So you've got your little robot, probably going to come down in this direction. We've got the service dog here.
Right.
And you simply drive your robot over here. It'll push that down there. You have to come right the way over it, and then you can go back to the base or go up and do
And so
another
because
task.
this little guy's moved and
Absolutely.
that gives you some points there
15
then.
points in the
15
bag,
points
Mark.
there. Just explain to me what the little brown discs are. We can take these manures here and we're trying to fertilise that square box, is that
you
right?
will deposit them over there.
So we deposit these, and you can pick them up from the table as well around.
Yeah.
And we pop those in there, and that gives you some points
You
as well.
do. You have to take them one at a time.
One at a time,
All right.
okay.
And it's not a huge amount of points, but it might give you the balance between negative manure and positive manure.
As we can see here, there's some kind of contraption. The robot can come over, and what they're trying to do is release food. So they can either pull this or knock this bit out, and it should release food one at a time.
One at a time.
So, so probably what teams are going to do is they're going to get all this, they're probably going to catch it as it comes out, I expect. Each of these animals is obviously very hungry because they've been sat here for a long time.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is try and get one of each food, so each food is worth 10 points, into these black circles.
Where the animals are.
Yeah.
I
But
get you.
If you choose to put 2 in one, which you can do, they must be the same colour.
Got you.
Otherwise it negates any points for that.
So you've got to
That'll
sort
be
them as
okay.
well.
So this is milking automation.
Okay.
So the idea is that you would drive your robot. In this case, you're probably going to use a sensor maybe to follow the line, and you would push it around there like that. And if you push it so far, it will distribute the milk. But if you go a step too far, so at this point I think we've got 20 points, but it will go down to 15 if you mix manure with your milk.
Okay.
That's not good. You could pick it up and take it back. There's not a huge amount looking at the points program for that, so it might be something I'd probably choose to avoid it.
They only get you 1-ish points for getting it back to base, but a big problem with this mat, as I said, it's very bitty, so it might be worth getting them out of the way so your robot can drive through.
For the pandas here, we've got quite a nice simple one, and it's a little, let me just do that, pushing my pandas.
Brilliant. And what we're basically doing there is letting the pandas out into the
them
wild.
free.
So it's a release program,
Yeah,
basically.
absolutely.
So you've got to get your robot round, you've got to open it up, let your pandas go out.
Yeah,
into
worth
free.
saying, Mark, that that's no good.
Okay, so it's
All right,
literally has to be perfectly
absolutely
close.
spot on
Got
or
you.
zero.
Who's the little person here?
That's a zoologist.
Okay, so we've got a zoologist, and what's the idea of that? Do we need to pick the zoologist up and do something with them?
As you can see, there's actually a ring, which will make it easier for the robots to pick it up.
Got you.
And what they want to do is they want to take the zoologist over to where we put all the manure, so that black square there, and that will get you 15 points. Yeah, so there's actually already another person in base with their dog.
Right.
Here. But this, so you also want to get this one over to this service area.
And they're going to kind of dig in the manure and make that fertile.
Yes,
Is that the
that
idea?
was the
They're going to
idea.
help with that. Brilliant. There's a seal over here with something on its back.
Again, got a little camera.
Great.
So you can rescue the camera, and you take the camera to
base.
Base. So
that awards
I'll throw that to
15
you to
points.
go to base.
Okay.
So we're back here live in the studio now, and I've been really lucky. I'm joined now by Andy.
Hello.
He's one of the referees out there, that's right, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And you just saw then, hopefully all you guys at home and all over the world who are watching in there, the rules are, you know, there's some complex rules out there. And you're here really to help out when things sort of need a bit of help with either things that have gone wrong on the table, or I mean, what's your main role?
Yeah, I mean, the kids have put a lot of work in. They've spent a lot of time building the robots. They want to attack the missions properly. So we go around the pits whilst they're practicing, we go around the tables, we talk to the teams, we say, that's not quite legal, or you need to change that. We give them time to make those changes, so that when they turn up to the competition, everything they do is on point, in the rules, and scoring high.
And are there things that happen on the table while the actual game is taking place that sometimes you need to have a look at and maybe give benefit of the doubt? You know, if we saw yesterday the fridge fell over, right? Now, you know, if that wasn't their fault, do you give them some points back? I mean, how does that work?
I mean, the fridge falling over is a tricky one. So there's 8 pieces of food in the fridge.
Yep.
So if they manage to release 2 pieces of food and then it breaks,
yes,
they can keep this.
Right.
This was done properly. They can transport that back. Anything left in this fridge, unfortunately, then becomes void.
Right.
So it's a case of trying to give them credit for the work they've already done, but not sort of taking it where a team can't just come pick the fridge up and take all 8 back, for instance.
Now, before we go on, I think it's important for all our viewers out there, they've probably noticed your hat by now.
Yes, absolutely.
Is that self-made? Is that
self-made? Absolutely. I've got 2 young children. We like to make Lego projects, and we thought, what better thing to do for an international festival than a Lego hat?
And I love the FLL on the front there as
FLL,
well. I mean, that's
absolutely.
attention to detail, that is.
And I'm a big pirate theme fan. When I was growing up, it was always the pirates.
Yeah.
So we've got a shark and a pirate on the top.
Fabulous. And you've been wearing that all around the arena, have you?
Absolutely. I've had more comments about this hat than anything else ever in my life.
Well, next year I'm going to attempt then for the UK Championships. I'm going to put my neck on the line here, and I'm going to build myself a hat and turn up with a hat for the next one. How about that? And we can sit back together and do something there.
Absolutely amazing.
So going back to the rules then, just
Yeah.
on the fridge.
Yeah.
Yesterday a team knocked the fridge over and managed to scrape the fridge into the home zone.
Yeah.
Can they take out the food from the fridge? I mean, is there something in the rule that says you can't take the whole fridge?
Yes, there is.
Right.
Yeah. Basically, what we have to do as referees is we have to make a decision as to whether the damage they've done gives them an easier chance of scoring, because then that's unfair against the other teams.
Yeah.
So a decision will be made as to whether it helped them or not, and then a call will be made off that.
I don't think it was part of their original
No,
programme.
I think it was probably a fluke.
It was just one of those things where we were all looking in amazement. And so you've seen a lot of robots taking part across the country, I assume, in your role as referee.
Yeah.
What's been the most amazing thing you've seen here, the wackiest out there, the most wild, creative interpretation of a way of doing something that you've seen over the last day?
There's 2 things that stick out. There's one, I love the robots that drive off another attachment. So they come out on a big jig, and then a ramp falls down and another robot drives off it. I mean, that.
And they leave that behind.
They leave that behind,
exactly.
and the robot goes off and does something
That's like
else.
a moon lander, isn't it? It's like something on the moon that just, shuttles off and comes back.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And then there's one other team, and they've created like a baseball glove out of Lego sails from pirate ships. I think it's from the Jabba the Hutt set, believe it or not. And they've built a contraption in the base that pings these Lego, and it hits the sail like a glove.
And that's manure they're
collects,
firing, isn't
and
it?
It's the manure, and they're doing it one at a time. And I just think it's incredible.
And that's a lot quicker than driving your robot over there, isn't it? So, yeah, absolutely. And I think actually we're going to have some clips of that later on today as well, which will be fantastic. But that's the thing that keeps coming back to us is, we haven't seen before these people firing things over.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And we saw, there's a whole different range as well. We were talking about this a little bit yesterday. Some of the teams have a little robot, and it's really nimble and quick around. And this is a busy table. I mean, our table here is obviously very busy because we just keep getting more and more things brought over to us to display. And we got the Brazilian bandana on R2-D2 at the moment, and thanks to my daughter for some of this because she's built a lot of this for the table. So the people are bringing stuff up, but the table itself in the competition is quite busy.
Yes.
And so, are you seeing that nimble is better than big? I mean, what's the kind of thing that's coming through?
Yeah, it's interesting. The robots that are nimble tend to be quite low to the ground so that they can go in between the obstacles, navigate quite quickly. The big robots tend to be tall, so they've got big wheels. And the benefit of that is essentially they just drive over a lot of the obstacles. So there is no sense of having to move around things because they just drive over them.
Yeah.
And they've got arms that hang underneath and things that grab and interact as they're going over. It's a bit like a vacuum cleaner. It'll sort of go down the side of the room and anything that could possibly score points has been hoovered up.
Yeah.
And and then it distributes and comes back.
And you can probably hear some of the teams now. They walking through the studio here to get through to the main arena. So good luck to all them today. And I think the first games are coming up in about 15 minutes, 20 minutes time. We're going to quickly now, Andy, if you don't mind, just go and quickly have a look at a few of our sponsor messages.
Yep.
And we'll see you again later through the day. But
Fabulous.
thanks for some of your insights there. Let's have a word from our sponsors.
From the beginning, engineers have shaped our world. They make the impossible possible. Meet the dreamers who will shape our future and experience a heartfelt story of human ingenuity on the giant screen. McGillivray Freeman's Dream Big.
A royal charter which authorizes the constitution of a university in this city of Bath.
You to do. Register online, get the kit, create a team, help us organise ourselves, and get us to the tournament.
We look forward to seeing you there.
Hi, we're back here live now in the broom cupboard, and I'm joined by Oscar. We just saw there about how to get involved in First LEGO League, but you're someone who's actually been involved with B6 Brilliant, am I right?
Yeah.
And how did that go? You were at the UK Nationals this year, was it?
Yeah, so we were at the Nationals this year where we competed and actually won the UK and Ireland Champions and then went to the World Festival, which was in America. So we competed there on the same scale as this year. It was amazing though, and I hope that the teams feel the same way about here.
So you've had insight, and how have you enjoyed being part of the First LEGO League team then? I mean, how long has B6 Brilliant been together?
Well, B6 Brilliant has been just together for 2 terms. So we've competed twice in Trash Trek and this year. And it's just been really good keeping together as friends because we started off when we were all in the same school, and then I went up to school and 2 people moved over to Comberton. So we've just stayed together, meeting every week as friends to compete.
So it just shows, doesn't it, that you don't even have to be doing this just at a school. If you want to get involved, you can do this like, you know, in the evenings, at the weekends, get a little team together, and you can go from that right the way through to the World Championships. And where were they held this year?
They were held in St. Louis, Missouri.
So, you know, you went out to St. Louis, Missouri, and was that a great experience as well? How long were you over there for?
We were over there for a week, so we had a bit of sightseeing beforehand. So that was really, really good.
So just like we're seeing here, we've got 93 teams from all over the world. Our furthest team will come in from Australia. We've got the Chinese teams, Indian teams, we've got teams from Canada, the States. I mean, it really is a properly international festival of teams getting together, taking part, and meeting new friends as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's amazing how many different ideas we have from all over the world, because you've seen so many attitudes to different problems, which is what I really like, that there's no one best way with LEGO.
That's what it's all about. It's all about trying to work out how to solve the problems that are laid in front of you, and that's the engineering part, really. I mean, engineering is all about problem solving, and you guys are taking, you know, what is LEGO with a brain and turning that into a robot that solves all the problems. And what's the hardest bit for you guys? What have you found the hardest bit? Is it the programming or the building? Which?
Oh, we haven't found anything particularly challenging, but probably the most difficult thing is just getting funding to go for places.
Yeah.
Because for the people who have come here, it must have cost quite a lot. But even so, just to get here and compete is just great. Got to be great for everyone who's
And it's
here.
a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, isn't it? I'll tell you what we're going to do now. We're going to have a quick look at the scores from yesterday, from day one. Let's take a look quickly there. We've got the ROC team there. They've come in from Canada, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
And to get a score of 330 on day one is just phenomenal,
Yeah, it's
isn't it?
really good. I've seen them practicing, and I really like their robot design. They actually have a cannon that shoots the manure across.
And we're hoping to get some shots of the cannon shooting the manure later, which everybody's talking about. I mean, it's just an engineering solution that nobody else has come up with, but actually saves a lot of time and gets you a good amount of points, doesn't it?
I have seen some people doing a manure cannon that has a single barrel, but they've got 5 in one housing.
Just phenomenal. And then we've got the German Eagles, Flaming Phoenix, and the Sesai Jedis there. And right the way down, if you look on the first page, there's a lot of teams in contention there.
Yeah.
You only need one exceptional run from any of these teams. And in fact, a team that is in last place at the moment could put a run in that just blitzes it, and suddenly they're up there at the lead.
Yeah. Well, there's so many teams in tight contention. All you need is like 10 or 20 points, and you move up 3 or 4 places.
And what we've got to remember as well is that with the point system, it's the best run over 3 days. So it's not adding the points together and dividing them by 3. You can have 2 terrible runs and then an absolutely storming run on the last day, and suddenly you're in the lead.
That's what happened in St. Louis, because we had one team that got 435, but then didn't do so well on the other runs. But their robot was really, really good. Loads of outside-the-box thinking.
And this is a tough table. We keep talking about it, but there's some really difficult problems to solve here. And to get 330 plus points, 435, that's something, isn't it?
Yeah, because they make you work hard for your points. For example, with the milk, you have to put it on the ramp. That only gives you a couple of extra points. But if you really want to go for the very top, to do that will just put you above.
So don't forget, everybody out there around the world who's watching in on this, if you want to tweet me, you can tweet us at IETTV, and we'll try and answer any questions. We've got experts, we've got people who've taken part before, referees, judges, they'll all be joining us. I think we've even got a guy from MIT in Boston who's going to come and talk about the SpaceX program that's happening later today. So it's a really exciting program we've got. But if you've got any questions, send us a tweet and we'll try and get those answered for you. Whatever it is, as long as it's, within the Lego boundaries, we'll try and answer those. So on the table, that you've obviously taken part on this very Animal Allies table, what's the hardest thing you think it is to try and get solved?
One of the things that we struggled with, but we've actually seen quite a lot of people doing, is getting on the wall.
So this is the wall here. We had a little demo of this yesterday, but just talk us through what the whole idea of the wall. And normally there is a little fella here, a green chameleon who hangs on it, but I broke that earlier, so we'll leave that down there. But that's the wall. It's this way round, and it's stuck down. And I think that what we'll do is hopefully we'll come back and explain all of the kind of difficulties with this in a minute. But right now, I believe we've got to cut straight over to the main auditorium and see what's going on the main stage in there. We'll come back to you soon.
Let's get, there you go. Now
Tweet
that
of
is
the
the
day.
tweet of the day.
Fantastic. This one's coming from Elan Azriel at FLUK, hashtag Animal Allies IOC. It says here, can you see the badges, the pins that this fella's collected? I'm collecting pins from all the different teams. They are really cool. Big round of applause for Tweet of the Day. Right, a little bit later on, we have a science show coming up. Oh!
There you go. That's what's happening tonight. The science show at 8 o'clock and the fantastic pit party tonight at 9. I guess we're going to go to that.
We're going to be there. We're going to get some of you guys and girls up on stage. Don't forget, coming up, some of the things to remember as well for Saturday.
Right, let's have a look. So let's just pick out a couple of things. Round about 12 o'clock, we'll have the encore performance show. My favourite time of the day, 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock is lunch. Woo!
And of course, don't forget 3 o'clock, we have the awards ceremony as well. So get ready for some of that. You will be checking this out throughout the games. Round 2 are going to be taking place. I've seen a lot of happy coaches around today as well.
Well, funny you should say that. You've seen a lot of happy coaches because all of you should have had one of these. It's up there on the screen. There it is. That is your nomination for the Best Coach Award. Your team name, your country, and your name of your coach. And what you do is you write down all the good things, only the good things, that you feel about your coach, whether he's inspired you, how they've led you, how he's been there for, or her been there for you. And then once you've done that, you have to post it in a red letterbox, Darren.
Just here. Now, we don't put the letter there. We don't put the letter about the coaches there. We don't put them there. We post in this red box right here. There. And you've got to write everything about your coaches. Where are the coaches? Put your hands up in the air. Where are the coaches? Just stand up, coaches. Just stand up.
Let's have a look at the coaches. See, I've got my favourite coach. It's Mandy. Mandy's my favourite coach. So I'll put that one in there.
Give him a nice big round of applause. Just how cool are the coaches at the International Festival 2017. Of course, I'm wearing these badges today as well. And the reason why I'm wearing these stickers and badges is because it is International Women in Engineering Day.
Woo!
I did say it's International Women in Engineering Day. Where are you, girls? Where are you?
Right. Looking around, I can see a room full of girls, maybe future engineers. And I want all the girls in the room to stand up.
Stand up, girls, come on.
All the women and the girls in the room to stand up. If you're a boy and you weren't, you just sat down really quickly. Oh.
So all the girls stand up, wave your arms for the camera, people. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's cheer our future engineers. Come on. Come on.
Louder. Louder. And of course, there's someone out in this audience at the International Festival for the first Lego League. One young lady out there that could be the IET Young Woman Engineer of the Year. Is there anyone out there?
Can we hear you?
There is one person here today. I'm going to welcome to the stage Dr. Jenny Sidey, IET Young Woman Engineer of the Year. Give her a nice big round of applause.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Wow. Okay, this is incredible. Absolutely incredible. So over the past 2 days, I have seen some amazing people do amazing things. I've seen phenomenal teams, I've seen phenomenal robots, and I've seen phenomenal engineers. And as we just heard, really importantly, today is International Women in Engineering Day. And a lot of people in this room are pretty switched on because I've seen girls designing robots, building robots, and testing robots over the past 2 days. So I know you guys know this, but we're going to talk about it because it's important. Engineering is for absolutely everyone. Everyone, okay? However, in the UK today, less than 9% of working engineers are female. 9%, that's far too low. And that is why the Institution of Engineering and Technology has launched this campaign called 9% is Not Enough. It's referring to the fact that we need more women to be engineers. And if you see stickers like this with a 9% on them, that's what that's referring to. So you can show your support by wearing one of these stickers, all right? Now, if we need as many engineers as possible, which we do, and engineering is for everyone, which it is, that number needs to increase, all right? So, I'm an engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer, actually, and I love my job. And when people ask me about engineering, I always tell them that there is only one rule if you want to become an engineer. I know you guys don't like rules, so that's good, right? One rule only. The rule is, to become an engineer, you need to improve people's lives through science. Now, it doesn't matter which science you choose, whether it's robotics, whether it's chemistry, whatever else you want, and it doesn't matter how you improve people's lives. That's the only rule. Okay? It's pretty good, right? So that makes engineering one of the most important, impactful, and creative professions in the world. So I hope that all of you here will consider becoming engineers wherever you choose to study in the future. I'm sure many of you will. But more than that, what I want you to do is I want you to go out and tell people that engineering is for them, because it absolutely is. And to finish off, we're going to watch a film that we've put together over the past couple of days, and it features some of the most brilliant young future engineers that I have ever met. All of you. So enjoy.
Currently in the UK, only 9% of engineers are women. That is not enough. I'm here at the first LEGO League IOC to ask female competitors why, and how we can get more girls interested in engineering.
Women bring a different perspective to the game than men do, and it helps in the project, it helps in core values, and it helps in the robot design.
With only men now, people just think that only men can be engineers. And I think girls can work that hard too.
We can show them girls working in robotics and girls working in engineering.
Do more competitions like this one, because it gets more girls involved.
You think that women can be good doctors? Why not women can be good engineers? And these 9% who are the engineers, they must be doing great in their field, they must be doing great in their organizations. So it's all about your mindset. You need to think differently. That's it.
9% is not enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Jen.
Well, we're back in the studio there. We're here with Danny now. We're coming up to the first game. I mean, it's International Women in Engineering Day today.
It is today.
And not only that, we've just seen a fantastic video there about 9% is not enough campaign.
Yeah, 9% of the world's engineers are women, and that's just not enough.
It's just not enough, not considering it's 50-50 of the population.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And so with 81% of the world's 91% of the world's engineers being men, that's not representative of the population. So it's, we need more women in there.
And you started out, I mean, what are you studying now? Let's start there.
I'm studying civil engineering.
So we've got a civil engineer, and that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you started out, and you actually taken part in First LEGO League, right?
I did, a few years ago, yes.
And how well did that go for you? I mean, how old were you when you started in First LEGO League?
When I started, I was about 13 years old.
So you started at 13, you got involved, was it a school team or a home team?
No, out of school.
Fantastic.
With friends, yeah.
And what was the team called?
Untitled One.
Untitled One. Now, a lot of you might remember Untitled One. That was you were a team that progressed really quickly.
Yes.
How well did you do?
We won this competition, but in America.
So they won the whole thing basically overall. And do you think that it helped and got you excited about engineering?
Definitely. I didn't really know what engineering was before I entered the competition, and when I did it, I realised, wow, this is what I want to do.
And what's exciting about engineering to you? Why does it make you excited?
Because I love problem solving, and it's all about problem solving, and it's creative at the same time. You've got to design things that are structurally sound and work, but in an innovative way.
Yeah. So you can hear there straight from the horse's mouth. It's not just perhaps what people think in the old sort of days about engineering. But engineering is about problem solving, basically, isn't it? In a huge range of things, from civil engineering, mechanical, electrical. You've got lighting engineers, sound engineers,
chemical engineers.
There's just a huge range of things, and it's really about looking at things that need solving in the world, working out ways to do it, and then using your understanding of physics, maths, and all those kind of things to bring together.
Yes, definitely. That's exactly what it is.
You've been doing it now at university for a year.
Yeah.
And how's it going? Are you still excited by it?
Love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah. So glad I did it.
And where do you see yourself in the future? Do you feel that you're going to be in what sort of civil engineering really, are you bridge building, or what's the thing?
Yeah, I think bridges and structures is what I enjoy most, but we'll see, I guess. Experiences where, you find out what you like and what you want to do.
So from your days when you used to take part, what's the big changes you've seen this year in the robots? Are there things that you think, wow, I wish we'd thought of something like that?
Yeah, no, every year something new happens, and it's like, wow. I mean, a lot of the teams I've been seeing this year, you've got to get the manure to one end of the board, and they're firing them out. I'm like, that's so clever, because you only can do one at a time. And, you know, things like that you see each year. It's like, oh, wow, new way to problem solve.
And we saw the scoreboard earlier, but ROC, who are out there in the front at the moment, who did a first day run of 330 points, that's the team that have built this glove and are firing the manure over the board and basically dropping it. And that's just a creative solution that they've come up with that nobody else has thought about.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah.
And we were talking yesterday quite a bit. We've got the scoreboard there now with ROC there. They're from Canada, I believe, with the German Eagles in second.
Yes.
Flaming Phoenix are in from Bangalore in India. So you can see what an amazing international board this is.
There are 37 countries at this competition, which is incredible.
And 93 teams.
93 teams,
And there's all the support staff that have come over with them and their friends. And there's thousands of people out there,
There is
isn't there?
such a good atmosphere here today. It's brilliant.
So on the board now, we've got this little guy here. This is one of the things that swaps. It's basically about a breeding program.
Yeah.
It's on the table. And we've seen, you were talking there about creative solutions.
Yeah.
The idea really is that you pull the flap up and down here and it moves it around.
Yeah.
But there are other ways of doing it right. And there are teams that have come up with great ideas.
Some of the teams have just used force, basically, and got little things and moved them around. Moved them around. You've got it on
Have I got it locked in? I think it's that one there. There we go. There.
Oh, yeah. And they just push it around like that. Which is really clever.
Yeah, and there's nothing in the rules to say you can't do that. And there's another team, I think, that we saw that put something over the middle and just spun it round. And that, again, is a really innovative way of doing something quickly.
Exactly.
Because it's all about doing it sort of
efficiently.
Yeah. That's the word I was looking for. Brilliant. And then some of the other things that we've got here, I mean, the wall, we were talking about the wall earlier, but the wall, trying to get your robot onto the wall, that's a really difficult thing, right?
Yeah, definitely. And balancing it, But loads of teams are doing it, and they've found different ways of doing it. Each team is doing it in a different way, and it's about using something. You've got to lift the robot up, so it's about the strength of the robot and all that, all the different
Phenomenal,
things.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
And earlier on today, I think the interesting thing is it's a busy table.
Yes.
And so some of the robots are huge and massive and drive over stuff, actually sort of over the top, clear it, and then pick things up. Other robots are nimbly nipping around the bottom.
They're very different approaches, but equally as effective and as reliable. So, you know, yeah.
And, you know, one of the things that's really noticeable out there, and we saw that in the clips earlier, is that First Lego League is really, there's a good lot of sort of young women take part in the competition.
Yes,
it's not male orientated at all, is it?
It's really, really good to see. And I think it's because teams work best when there's an equal amount of girls and boys. That's why we're seeing the teams that are doing well with lots of girls in them.
I think when you get the mix of the problem-solving skills together, it works great, doesn't it?
That's when you get the best outcomes.
And, you know, we've seen, and you'll see later from people walking around and all the competitors walking around, there is a fantastic mix here, internationally as well, of boys and girls, and that's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we should just say as well, they're 9 to 16-year-olds, so this isn't, you know, this isn't old sort of students. This is some of the students are really young.
Yes, really young.
And yet they come up with great solutions.
I know. It's amazing. Yeah.
And so on the table then, if you were going to solve, which of the things would you like to have had in your day on the table to have had a go at solving an issue?
I think the beehive is a really good one. I mean, it's quite an easy one, but I think it's quite cool.
I think we've got, there you go. So basically you drop the bee onto the button on the top and it spits
honey
out
runs
the honey.
out.
And then you've got to collect the honey for extra points.
And then take it back to base,
And you know, for those of you, it's an well, I've got to take that out, but we can do that again here. Hopefully, if you can see this, we'll turn it to the front. And basically your robot picks it up, brings it over, drops it on the top, and it spits it out. But you've obviously got to collect that and move it at the same time.
Yeah.
And the problem is if you leave that on the table, then a robot can drive into it on your next run, and that could then put you off, and it could knock. So it's all about making sure you don't leave sort of debris.
Yes. And it's very unpredictable. I mean, you can make your robot as reliable as you can, but there's always something that's going to happen that you can't predict, and it's going to make it go wrong. So there's a little bit of luck involved as well, I think.
So we're just waiting at the moment while they're setting up the main arena at the moment for the first game of the day. And let's have a quick look back at some of the replays from yesterday. So we're looking here now. That was the actual fridge there in operation. They just took those and they've just cleared all those bits of debris off the table there. It's fantastic, wasn't it? This is the bit we're talking about now.
And that's another way that we said that they've come up with without using the lever to do the cooperation.
And there we have one of those smaller robots now that's literally just backwards and forwards and they came up with a really clever solution here.
Yeah.
They've got manure, the little brown circles.
Yes. I've seen a lot of teams do that, put it in something easier to carry.
Yeah, easy to carry, and also it doesn't roll away, does it?
Exactly.
So it lands. This is a huge, now here we go with the climb.
Yes.
This is a team here that just nailed this.
Yes.
And you can see it lifting itself off the floor there and putting the chameleon down as well. And it's off the floor now, and that's your points.
I know.
Look at this, it's absolutely fantastic. Well, it looks like now we're going to go straight over to the main arena and let's see one of the first of the day, day 2, the first games of the day. Here we go. And here we are there. So we've got 2 minutes 22 on the clock, and this is a great one. This is sweeping up already.
Yeah.
It's over there on the
Opening
fridge. And that's doing it beautifully, isn't it? It's literally collected them all up. It's got them, and look at that. It moved our little friend and it's collected them both perfectly.
The attachment here that's going to go on is...
Look at that.
I know, it's huge compared to the actual robot that was just running.
And so now they've got the bee, they're going to bring the bee back, drop it onto the actual beehive there, and then hopefully collect the honey at the same time. There's the honey, it's rolling. If it keeps rolling, that could be...
Yeah.
It's nearly there. So, and they've got this big contraption there. What do you think they're going to do with that?
I think they're going to use it to put stuff into the safe zone, like the people and the manure.
Brilliant. So the thing we just saw there going round, that's actually the milk machine, and they've taken the milk out without dropping the manure that's in there. They've put a person into that spot.
They've just taken the camera off the seal.
They've taken the camera off the seal. So this is a fantastic run because it's so slick, we can hardly keep up with what's going on the pictures here.
No, and it's not made any mistakes. Yeah.
This is We Are One from Germany, I believe, that are doing this at the moment. And you can see there, they've got the camera. They're turning around now. They're going, and they're using the line there with the image sensor. You can see the red dots.
Yeah, a light sensor.
And now we're going to turn around the breeding program. They've picked up a bat and they've left over there. I think that was the frogs.
Yeah.
They've still got the camera, and they've knocked the honey in as well. This is amazing. What a fantastic run. So now here we are. They've got to get the manure.
This is really clever. They've made a tunnel.
Wow, that was awesome, wasn't it?
They're going to add to the end of the tunnel as well, I think. And they're going to fire the manure through that.
So that's how they're going to get the manure over there onto the barren land. They've got the people in there, and the idea is that people would dig the manure in and create fertile land. So here we go, they're putting the manure in, they drop it in, and they're firing it through that little tunnel over to the other side. And you can just see here how they've created some amazing creative solutions for what in essence are engineering problems.
Yeah, definitely.
So this is a fantastic run. We Are One from Germany are absolutely nailing this run on day 2.
Left.
And you can see here now how the hands start to shake, they start to get a bit wound up, they've dropped part of it, and you can see they're disappointed because they knew time was running out. But they've got the points there, they've got the points there, they're coming back over here.
I think they're going to try another cooperation pass. Oh, maybe not.
And time is down there, and that's the clock ended. And we'll try and bring you up to date with what sort of points that was there. But that was a sensational run there from We Are One from Germany. And yeah, absolutely brilliant. That was an amazing first run. So, so Danny, it's been fantastic having you in the studio with us. I think we're gonna grab someone else in now, and we'll chat again to you later, Danny. But thank you ever so much. So what we've got now coming up, we've got some more games coming up in this end. We're just seeing the end there again of the We Are One from Germany's thing. This is a fantastic move here. I mean, you just watch this. It's beautifully, beautifully done. We're seeing a replay here, how they've spun the whole thing round. It comes in and it's just wonderful. And there they are, dragging the cameras back into their home area, and they got the honey as well. And just towards the end here, you can see the hands are starting to shake, they're starting to rush, and they didn't quite manage to get the end bit done, and there's a bit of disappointment. But to be honest, it was a brilliant, brilliant, brilliant run. So we're now going to be joined by Jenny over here. Jenny, great to have you in the studio. Thank you. I just saw you rushing in there. But you did a lovely, lovely chat there on the main stage.
Oh, thank
and
you.
You're the Young Woman Engineer of the Year this year.
I am, yep.
And the IET Young Woman Engineer.
Yes.
And 9% is not enough. Can we quickly cover this off? 9% is not enough campaign. How important is it to engineering?
It's incredibly important. I mean, we don't have enough engineers as it is now, and only 9% of working engineers in the UK are female. So there's a huge untapped resource that we just have waiting there. We need to involve more women in engineering.
And why is it, do you think, that here, I mean, at First Lego League, there are lots and lots and lots of young women taking part. Why is it we're not seeing them go from STEM subjects at school into engineering at university? What's stopping that?
I think we have a lot of reasons. One is that we're having trouble engaging girls Now here you see that's not a problem. We have a lot of girls involved already, but we need to keep them involved later on in the engineering kind of fields, you know? And beyond that, we just need to change the reputation. We need to get more women interested in different sorts of fields. Engineering is pretty diverse, and a lot of people think it's just hard hats. It's really not. We need to change that.
So, you know, from your point of view, what sort of engineering are you involved in?
So I'm a mechanical engineer, and I study fire, actually. So
Oh.
I study all sorts of interesting things about fire. I study why fires start, how they go out, and how we use them in engines.
Wow, so that's amazing, right? So, and how did you get, I mean, when did your excitement around engineering first happen?
So I remember when I was little, I really loved the arts. I loved painting, I loved drawing, I loved dance, these sort of creative kind of fields, but I also really liked solving problems. And then when I got interested in science and maths at school, those two things kind of came together and I realized that was engineering. It's creative problem solving, creativity being really important, and it's science and maths. And that's when I knew I wanted to be an engineer.
And, you know, you're here today and you've obviously been talking to lots of people. What do you think people are starting to understand that engineering is such a vast, amazing career that it's worth getting involved with and keeping going at? Because I think that's one of the problems, isn't it? Is people have seen engineering as quite a narrow thing, but actually it's vast.
Yeah, exactly. I think people here really get that. I mean, I've talked to people who understand that engineering can be anything. I always say the only rule is that you have to use science to improve people's lives. The science is up to you, and how you improve people's lives is up to you. So it's so broad, so diverse, and so creative, and I think people here get that.
So you've obviously seen a few games, hopefully, as you end out. Yes. What's taking your fancy out there in terms of the robots and what's going on?
So we've seen some amazing stuff today already. I mean, I was here yesterday and I've been here for most of today. The most incredible robot feat that I've seen has to be the gecko hang, the biomimicry hang. That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've got the wall here, but, you know, managing to get your robot over here, hang a gecko, and then lift your robot off the ground is phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. These are some big robots. I mean, this is like, as far as Lego's concerned, pretty heavy machinery.
And this, you know, we looked at this yesterday. It's not a very strong piece of kit. I've broken it a few times, right? So you've got a balance on there, haven't you? So it's not just lifting, it's balancing.
Yeah, it's phenomenal. You see kind of the teetering of the wall a little bit, and some teams just manage it, but I'm curious to see if they'll pull it off.
Absolutely, and it's a good point scorer as well, that, you know. And so, you know, what else should we be doing to try and encourage more young women to come through into engineering?
I think you just need to spread the word. I mean, there's enough in engineering to keep everyone interested in it. Everyone interested in it, right? It's this phenomenal field that can be anything. So as long as we keep telling people that it's not just hard hats or maths or physics, that it's this broad creative field where they can do whatever they want, I think the job will be done.
And did you study mechanical engineering then? Mm-hmm. And do you have to stay, when you go to the course and study something like mechanical engineering or civil or chemical, do you have to stay in that field? Or can you kind of use those skills and move into slightly different areas of engineering? Because that's one of the things, isn't it? People might think, oh, I can't do mechanical engineering because I don't know where that will lead me, but it leads you into all sorts of avenues.
You can really do whatever you want. So I trained to be a mechanical engineer, but now dealing with fire, most of what I study is chemistry. I study the way different flows work, a lot of different machinery. It's kind of just this really broad range of subjects that kind of come together. So you definitely don't have to stay in the field that you study, and you can always change. It's very flexible.
And that's one of the most amazing things. I think now, Jenny, we're going to see a game. So hopefully you're going to stay with us for our first commentary. Here we go. We've got 2 minutes 26 left on the clock. And this is one of the smaller robots here. But you can see already they've picked some people up and they're turning around the milking machine.
I love this bit. This is great.
They're really important that they don't drop out the manure there. There's white and brown things in there. They've taken the white ones out and they've dropped the people. They need to leave those in that little area of desert, of sort of gravelly area, and then they need to add manure. I think then they were going to pick up the seal camera, but they've missed that. They've taken a little hit on there on the points. They've picked it up, they've gone back, and they're changing it over here, aren't they?
You can see how important that really fast change is, too. It's incredible.
So again here, they've changed the front sort of mechanisms. They've got some lifting devices, and this is Team Valletta here. You can see there. I think they've come in from Spain, if I'm right. Is that right? Team Valletta are from Spain?
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. And they're milking. They're not milking. They've gone up to the fridge and they're taking the food out of the fridge.
Yep.
And they've got a little box at the front there. And unfortunately, they've dropped it there, and you can see the disappointment now because they were so close.
They put a lot into this, you can tell.
And this is again about engineering skill, isn't it? Because you go away now, they get a whole day before tomorrow on the next run to just hone things and change things around.
It's about tweaking what they already have, right?
So here you go, they're collecting some of the manure, they've got it underneath there, they're coming back, they're picking up our little friend then, I think, and they're going to sweep up the bee as well.
Yep.
And then hopefully they'll put a different attachment on now, take the bee out, drop him onto the beehive, and hopefully pick up the honey. That might happen sometime in the next minute.
Excellent.
See another attachment going on here. So this is all one central robot.
Yep.
And lots of different attachments.
Yeah.
And other teams have got one big robot with lots of attachments already on it, haven't they?
Yeah, it just depends how they want to solve the problem, right? Excellent.
And so, you know, when you're working in your engineering field, do you often, working with other engineers, come up with a completely different way of solving the same problem? I mean,
absolutely, absolutely. I mean, there's no rules really. You just try and solve the problem in whatever way you know how, and different people working in different ways come up with different solutions. That's the beauty of it.
And do you find that engineering is quite a team field of career? You know, a lot of people in careers work very much on their own, but is engineering all about getting lots of different brain power together to solve these problems?
Absolutely. That's why it's important to engage so many different kinds of people in engineering, because you work as a team to come up with these solutions. It's too difficult by yourself.
And you know, every now and again, is there someone who comes up with an idea for a solution that is left field, that's really unusual, and you just think, where did they get that from?
Yeah, it's incredible. Some of the things, even my students, when they come up with them, it's like, wow, where'd this come from? It's great.
So we just saw their Team Valletta. I think they finished quite well towards the end. There was a few disappointing things along the way, but it's, you know, we'll see them again tomorrow, and it looks like they had a good run. We're just seeing some replays here now, Team Valletta. You saw there, that was a fantastic pickup of the people. They had a little kind of prong that swept round, picked them up, dropped them into the area. A lovely sweep up there as well. But just the programming there, the back wheel caught the edge there. It could have been cleaner. And here, this was fantastic, the milking machine. Absolutely fantastic.
Perfect.
And there we see again them just dropping those people off. So, you know, a really good run there. I think they've probably improved from day one. And so, fantastic. Well, Jenny, you know, fantastic to have met you. Really pleased you could be here, and especially talking about the 9% Not Enough campaign on International Women in Engineering
My
Day.
pleasure. Thank you so much.
So brilliant. Thank you very much,
Thank
and
you.
we'll see you later on.
Absolutely.
I'm going to have to chuck you out now, and we'll grab someone else in.
All
We've
right.
got loads of guests coming in and out all day. You can see that in the main hall at the moment. There's a lot of teams around, a lot of people around, getting ready for our next big table game, and it's going really well at the moment. I'm very, very excited about our next guest. He's going to be coming in very shortly, so hopefully he'll be able to commentate on some of the skills and the things he's seeing. We've got George, and George Lordos is actually from the Department of Aeronautics and Astronautics. And he's over from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. So there we go, there's our second runs. We Are One got a run of 252. They didn't improve on yesterday, but it looked like a fantastic run. So, you know, we might see them improve tomorrow. So, George.
Hi.
We're here. I mean, we're here, and you have come all the way over from MIT in Boston, a really famous university for engineering, science, technology, incredible inventions, a whole bunch of stuff. What's it like being here? Is it your first LEGO League?
It's my first time at an international first LEGO League. I'm a coach for the second year running. And last year we started off from Cyprus in the nationals. My team came second. This year they came second again, and this year we got the chance to come here, and the kids are very excited.
So you are a lecturer, is it?
No, I'm a doctoral student.
A doctorate student at MIT in Boston, and you're coaching a first LEGO League team.
That's right.
That must be fantastic for those students there. And how are you seeing? Is the competition fantastic here? Are you enjoying it?
What's most amazing is all the energy and all the ideas, the different ideas from all these young people. I mean,
it's incredible, isn't it? I mean, you go around and the way that they're solving these problems in a completely different way is amazing.
Yes, it's totally amazing.
Now, somebody told me earlier that you've got some really interesting stuff going on that you want us to know about, or you know about this evening. What's happening?
Well, actually, tonight is a very special evening. SpaceX is launching a rocket from Launch Complex 39A, Cape Canaveral. This rocket will land on an autonomous drone ship in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Wow. So look, that's happening about 7 o'clock UK time?
About 7 o'clock UK
So tune in for that. We've got a game live here. So George, let's have a look at this. This is a different style again here. This robot's fast, it's nimble, it's stocky, and look at the way they've just flown around there, picked up some people. Oh, he's missed it.
Just missed it.
They just got nudged there, I think, and they went back to finish off the milking machine.
They got the
you
milk.
can see here, they got the milk out, they've gone back, and you can see this is a fast sort of nimble machine.
Yeah. And they're working very fast there in the pit.
Yeah, and this is the hardest thing, I think, isn't it? Because under pressure, you've got to change all those different mechanisms over and make sure you set your robot off in the right direction.
Right. And practice makes perfect. What I've seen is, teams that practice a lot get better and better, and eventually they get it down.
And you can see here, they're having a slight issue, right? Now, the interesting thing is you can look at things like Formula One, and you look at, I mean, this is basically a pit crew.
Yep.
And the Formula One car comes in and they can practice this hundreds of thousands of times, and then the wheel won't go on. And this is exactly what we're seeing here. Under pressure, in real environments, these guys are having to try and change these mechanisms over, and it doesn't always go right, does it?
Yeah.
We've seen again here, they've had a few issues there, and it's all to do with those hands sweating and the feeling.
Yeah. And it's also to do with the troubleshooting, which is where the engineering comes in. You try something, and then you have to figure out what's the reason it didn't work. And if you understand the reason, then you can fix it.
So just quickly, I introduced you as aeronautics and astronautics.
That's right.
In really layman's terms, for someone like me, what is, I mean, aeronautics, airplanes?
Yes.
And wings and all those kind of things.
Right.
But what's astronautics?
So astronautics is about space flight. It's about satellites and rockets. So it's all about flight in the atmosphere or outside. Yeah.
And how did you get involved in that? I mean, you know, we're seeing here the guys still going, having a really good run. They're really keeping going here. It's been a tricky run for them, I think.
Yeah.
And then, you know, they'll go away and improve tomorrow. How did you get involved in astronautics, and how did your life lead you to that?
Well, I've been interested in space exploration for quite some time, and especially in the exploration of other planets. So, and I've been interested specifically in Mars, hence my Occupy Mars sweatshirt here. And what I've seen in the last few years is that companies like SpaceX and other companies like Origin have been experimenting with bringing rockets back from space. Now, that's the holy grail of astronautics, because once you can bring rockets back, it's like, you know, imagine if a 747 would fly only once and then get thrown away. It would be a very expensive ticket.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you can bring the rocket back, the cost of access to space can go way down. And when that happens, we'll have a whole new age of, you know, a new frontier for humans to explore.
So, you know, we're hearing a lot at the moment about these kind of new passenger flights to the edge of space and to space, that people will be able to purchase tickets. Have you got your name down?
No, I haven't, no. I'm more interested on helping people get to space at the moment. I don't think I will probably get the chance.
And would you like to?
I would love to, but being realistic, I don't think.
And so, you know, for all of the young people here, what's so good about engineering? What have you found fascinating? What's made you excited about engineering?
So what makes me excited about engineering is the problem solving. It's getting stuck in there and then finding the problem and fixing it and then making it better. It's also the designing, it's the architecting. It's creating a system and making it work exactly like you want it to do with no ill side effects. This is engineering.
So, I mean, it is interesting because, you know, there'll be loads of people out there now watching who might be at school and they'll be thinking, well, I'm really good at solving problems, but I really like theatre. But you've got theatre engineers who make stage sets and they engineer, and that's problem solving in the theatre industry. And then you have, you know, food production and, you know, engineering in that to make better use of the manufacture and the farming and all those kind of things. So engineering is a vast subject.
It is vast, and all the interesting stuff is happening at the boundaries between engineering and other things. So the boundaries between engineering and medicine and biology, and you get new inventions there and new advances. Engineering and material science, engineering and computing. I mean, it's at the boundaries where we make progress.
Yeah, absolutely. And really as well, it's this kind of teamwork, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we were talking earlier to Jenny, you know, getting together teams of really creative people across the sort of all different fields of engineering, that's where new developments come from, isn't it?
Yes, and it's the creativity as well, where I heard, I think a couple of days ago, a young woman, a sophomore from Johns Hopkins, she figured out a way to stop the metastasis of cancer cells. And she worked on that for the next 7 years. She started as a sophomore and she just finished her PhD. Wow. And it's groundbreaking research. She may have found a way to start attacking cancer in a big way.
That's amazing.
So that's a young woman, a young engineer.
And so you find engineers working medical fields.
Yeah.
And we had a fantastic talk at one of our talks not long ago from an engineer who's now in the cancer field. And that seems to be, you know, this cross crossover to different areas is amazing. I think we've got another game coming up in a second or two, so we'll keep our eye on that for you at home and make sure that we don't miss any of the next games. But we're just waiting on a game coming through at the moment.
Sure.
So, you know, tonight's SpaceX then, we'll quickly touch back on that. What will we actually see as viewers? In fact, there's a game coming through now. Let's go to the game. So here we go, a game coming up now. I'll find out for you which, and here we go. This is a completely different type. This is a huge robot. And look, this looks like one of the teams that have worked out how to shoot things. It looks like they're putting a net over that far end.
They set up a whole factory there.
That's right, yeah, look at this. I mean, that's just a completely different way of thinking, right? But you can see there in the centre for you at home, they've got a small robot central part, and it's the attachments that make this clever. So here they go now, they're setting up ready to go, they've pressed the button, they're pushing something else. That's taking the fish, the shark, in the tank, and they need to turn it sideways a little bit. They might do that now. No, they've left it.
See the creativity there? They realize that you don't have to touch the ground.
Yes.
So it just needs to be above the lines.
And they're taking this round. This is the Caro Aces, and I believe they're from Germany. And they've done a beautiful push round there of the milking machine.
Oh, yeah,
they've got the milk there. You can see the milk on the side, and they're going to take that back there, take that back with them. They put some manure into the area already, and they've got to take the camera off the back of the sea lion there, haven't they?
Yep.
Or they can take the whole sea line. That's the point. There is nothing in the rules that means you can't take the whole sea line. And they've scooped that up.
And they will take it off by hand.
And they'll take it off by hand. And there's the milk as well. You've seen them just take the milk out. This is a great run here from the Caro Aces from Germany. So they're doing really well. They've got another thing here now. Let's see what they're doing. This is manure. I think they're going to shoot this over the other side. Let's see what happens. Yes, you can see them there shooting the manure, and they're catching it in the net over the other way. And you can see how fast that is.
Yeah.
It's much quicker to do that than it is to take each piece round one by one. And so this is amazing. And there it was. They've caught it in the net. It's over the manure, over the barren land.
And it's one by one, as the rules are.
And now they've got to balance the milk on that, and they balanced that beautifully. So again, we haven't seen that before. That was a fantastic move.
Yeah, this is a world.
Now look at this. Look at this for an attachment.
Wow.
Well, I've no idea where they're going with this. They're going to take our little friend and they're going to put that back into the farm, I believe.
Yeah,
they've got that into the farm. That's beautiful.
Vertical, there's another creativity. You don't need to have it horizontal.
No, you don't need to. And they're coming over here for the... They've swapped it round with just a slap. They slapped that round. That was incredible. This is a sensational run, so I'm hoping this is going to be a high scorer. And this is it. They're going to lift their robot off the ground. They've done... Oh!
No.
They missed the top of the... You can see there they hit that by probably a couple of millimetres too much. And it's bent the wall, hasn't it? And so the two hooks haven't managed to get on it. Let's take a look at some of the replays there. We're running out of time now. Here we go with the last 18 seconds. You can just see them bending that. Oh! It just literally fell away, didn't it? Like you say here, this was fantastic. So I believe in round one, they were 2-7-6 in round one. This could be a bigger score this time, I think. This could be a bigger score.
Good. That's good work. That's good work.
Oh, that was sensational. And here it is again, them dropping off the people. They've got the milk there. Wonderful.
Amazing.
So George, you know, it's been fantastic having you in the studio. Thank you ever so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Let's just see George quickly before we go. George, over here from MIT, Boston, and an astronautics and aeronautic engineer, and is coaching one of the teams. So fantastic to have you. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you.
We'll catch you again later.
Catch you later. Thanks.
Well, what can I say about that last run? That was a fantastic run. We saw some really innovative ideas there. You guys at home are probably thinking, I have no idea how they came up with some of those ideas. Neither have we here in the studio. But what a shame there at the end. You could see the robot coming over to the wall and just bent the wall over. This was a great move here, though. The way that they pushed that round, managed to pick up the milk in a second. You'll see the milk is already there inside as it turns round. And there on the right-hand side, you can see the milk. Absolutely brilliant. And then they come down and they take the seal back with them. So in the previous round, they were lying 7th. That looks like they could do a bit better. We're back here with Oscar now. Oscar, the wall, we just saw an attempt there on the wall. We saw them, it was sensational, wasn't it? What a shame though. We'll have a little bit more in depth on this when we come back to us in the studio. But you could see they really went for it at the end. And that slap round, that was incredible. Here we go, look at the wall here. Oh, it was, you know, it looked like they drove up to the wall, but they just bent the wall back and then, whoops. See what I mean? It's not strong. The two prongs didn't quite catch on, did they?
That's the tricky thing. You have to be so precise, and Lego isn't precise. It flex and bends.
And that actually is pretty true of a lot of materials, you know. But you know, just to have seen them being so close, because that would, how many points do we think that's worth at the end there?
70 points.
70 points for lifting your robot off. I mean, that's the difference probably between a good run and an exceptional run. And so all they've got to do now is go back, and it probably means just making their robot just go up to it just probably 1 or 2, 4 or 5 millimeters less, and that would have hooked over maybe.
And it's really convenient for the teams at the moment because they get an entire day to change their robot, because when we went to St. Louis, we had it all in one day.
Wow.
We had 3 practices and then 3 actual games on one day.
That's like the UK Championships are like that as well. We have one day and you practice and then you run, don't you? And you do 3 runs in the day. The fantastic thing about here is that if you make a mistake on day 2 or day 1, you've still got day 3.
To change it.
And it's your best score that counts. It's not an amalgamation, it is the best score from your 3 runs that put you into the leaderboard. So, you know, from your experience, having seen some of the things here and taken part this year yourselves and gone over to the Worlds, how do you think you would have done things differently, seeing some of the stuff that's out there? What's the things that you would change now?
Well, I'd almost certainly improve the way we shoot the Muir over.
Yeah. The manure shooting then, I mean, that was a good one, but also there's another one coming we're going to see later, but that's a really clever idea, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really, really unique.
We're going to have a quick look at the scoreboard as well now, Oscar. Let's have a quick look. Let's see what's happening here. So we are the 252 there. They didn't quite get past 303.
Still a great run.
Great run. And look there, Capricorns. They've jumped up into 7th. And you look at that, and they were down. They've put 100 points on nearly since yesterday.
It's really good progress for
teams. If they do that again tomorrow, that could put them right up there in the top spot. Still ROC from Canada there, running at 330 at the moment. They're the guys that also shoot the manure as well.
It's going to take some beating. I've seen them practicing, and it's really reliable robot.
And really slick, the way that they're so calm and so good with that robot, aren't they?
They actually have 3 separate robots. So, because they came from Canada, they have 3 robots that are identical, that they've got just in case one fails.
Wow, so they've got redundancy built into their design, which is phenomenal. I mean, in the actual game itself, the main robot has to stay the same, doesn't it? You can only run one robot in the game, but you can add as many attachments as you want.
I've seen some teams who literally just have the EV3 and 4 motors and just plug that into different entire bases.
Yeah, there was a team yesterday that had a small block almost, and then the big things went round it, and then you take it off, and we'll see more of that coming up through the day. We're seeing now down there as well. We mustn't forget some of these teams. Some of these teams here have only run once, and they could jump right up there onto the front of the leaderboard, couldn't they, you know?
I've been speaking to some of the teams in the pits, and everyone is really hopeful, but they're just having fun. They're not taking it ridiculously seriously. They're not kind of bashing the other teams out of the way to compete. They just take it really seriously.
So we're going to go live to a game now. Oscar's going to stay with me, and we're going to try and do some commentary for you and try and explain what we're seeing. So I think game on now, and we're going over there. Here we go. You can see one of the games must be on. We're going to try and cut to some of the pictures now. We've got table 4 and table 3 there, and it's a bit difficult to see at the moment what's actually happening, but here we go, and there we go. That's a bit easier to see there. So you've got an sort of top view here, and this will show you just how small actually the tables are, really. When you see them from this angle, and you can see how big the robots are, they're having to navigate their way through all of this, aren't they?
Yeah, there's someone going in for the milk. That's a really small robot there. That's quite good. They've got when you're on the top of the robot, they were picked up there.
So just quickly go through as well here about where you know, you've got this sort of semicircle, a little quarter of a circle there, a quarter of a circle in a quadrant in the corner. Starting your robot off in the right place is really important, isn't it?
It's really important, and we actually. Oh no!
Oh, that was so unlucky.
Knocked over the.
That was so unlucky because that was a really nice mechanism of spinning it. They just got it out, and that's what we're talking about. How important it is, because where you set it off can affect where it goes.
We align ourselves on the logos in base. So there's the triangle of the first symbol, and we align ourselves on there. So we have a light sensor at the front. On the triangle, so we know exactly where we are each time.
So we're watching SAP's Cyber Wallen from France here, and this is a massive attachment.
Yeah, I think that arm at the side goes round and turns the milk machine.
Oh my word, look at that.
Really
How
good design.
fantastic is that? That is sensational, isn't it? And you get extra points for picking up the milk, but they look like they're just going to leave the milk here, but something's gone wrong.
Something's gone wrong.
You can see there, and they've opened up the farm there as well. but something's gone wrong, and you can see how upset they are. They've got the seal camera though, so that's great.
Yeah.
And they've got their robot back, which means they can move on to the next program. They've got 25 seconds left here. They're coming through. They're using the sidewall as a running mechanism there to keep it in line, aren't they?
Yeah. That's clever how they activate that, because you can't have anything over the side to start.
Right.
So they've flipped that out with the other side of their arm. They push that over.
So when you set off, you can't have that, but it can drop down and then set off.
Yeah.
Really clever. So they're running down on time there. It probably hasn't gone as great as they expected there, but I think they'll improve by tomorrow. Let's have a quick look at some of the replays. This arm mechanism, absolutely brilliant, isn't it? And you can see there they got the milk, but none of the manure came out. They went to pick up that farmer there, and they didn't quite grab that. Things have gone wrong there in the corner, and you can see a few things. They've dropped the manure there. Fantastic.
That's really good.
So that was something we didn't see when it was going at full speed, but there, just then. And you can see the disappointment. It's harsh, isn't it? Because, you know, you practice, and it all goes really well. And then the sort of the passion and the crowd noise and the excitement, and then things can go wrong.
It's really irritating when you know that something should go well and can go well, and then something just goes wrong at the last minute. And last year when we were competing, our robot shut down and crashed. So we had to bring the laptop over to the table, reboot the robot, download all the program files because they were wiped.
Whilst you were in the middle of a game?
Not in the middle of a game, but just with
in between.
With 30 seconds to go. We actually got everyone to, we had to stop the game and get everyone to go.
Well, it looks like we're going now to another game, so this is exciting. They're coming up thick and fast today, and so we're going to go to another game, and we'll try and keep you up to speed on what's going on again. It looks like we're going over any second now. I think that's table 8. Is it table 8 or team 8? Is it team 8 or table 8? We're going to find out for you now which team are coming up on this table. And we'll show you a bit of a scoreboard as well straight after this game, so we find out. Here we go, we've got a game starting now. There's the 2-minute 30 clock. They had a lovely guide there to set that robot off, didn't they? And straight onto the milking machine, we've just cut away there. Here it goes.
That's nice how they...
Oh, and they've got a sweet machine as well. That was incredible.
It's nice how they take that in.
All 8 bits of food there into that front part of the robot. And they've got our little friend. They had some manure. They also had the bee, and they picked up the food as well, all in one go.
There's the pig's ears coming off.
And there they are, putting the bee on now. They've got to get the bee in the right place. They're going to try and drop this on the beehive.
Yeah,
and
quite a big attachment as well.
And that'll release the honey, I believe, won't it? Oh, it just didn't make it, did it? What a shame.
I like how they drop our little friend, though.
Yeah, her little friend went smashing straight to the floor there. He probably won't have survived that fall, but that's fine in the rules.
It's interesting how they use the arm to activate by hitting the beehive.
Absolutely, really clever. Really, that sort of jarred it off the end, didn't it?
Yeah. Now this team's using.
This looks like a fantastic mechanism here. They're putting their robot onto the top. They lift up a flap.
So this is how they get over the ramp. They have a second robot on top of a base layer that moves the shark into place and then drops over here.
And this is Team 13, I believe, from Germany. I'm going to try and pronounce it, but I'm going to get this very wrong. It's Attrakt-If-Wunsch-Weisbert. I think that might be them. So if I've got that right, I should get a big medal from that. But if I haven't got that right, apologies.
They missed the researcher.
Yeah, and there was a little bit there that just nudged it as well, but that was so close. And a really good run.
Aligning themselves on the wall. Are they dropping the trainer with a dog?
They're going to pick. Look at the way they did that.
That was nice.
That was superb, wasn't it? Because you were thinking, how's that going to pick it up? And here they go. They're going to lift themselves up.
I think they're just going to put the gecko down. Yeah.
Oh, they've dropped the gecko. That was superb. A really nice move there.
They dropped the food as well, but one just stayed with. Oh dear.
Oh, and that was a shame. You can see the creativity in this robot. If this run goes well and from end to end, they'll get loads of points.
Yeah. And that was the thing. That's the thing with leaving so many big accessories on the table. You have to navigate around them.
Yeah.
Which is incredibly.
So you've got sort of one aspect is you can drive over things, get through things. Another aspect is that sometimes they get in the way. But you just have to kind of decide which way you're going to go and then work out your programming around it, don't you?
But there's no junk penalty at the moment, which means you can leave things on the table, whereas before you can't.
So they were looking to flip that round here, but for some reason, I think they just didn't quite work out for them there.
No, there they were trying to leave the food. I don't think they were trying to flip that
Some
round.
replays here, I believe. Got some replays coming in now of the Team 13 from Germany. And that was a lovely move there, the way they dropped that. And you can see how creative this robot is. It's a big beast as well. This isn't a small robot, but that was beautiful.
This was lovely. That was really nice.
Okay, well, Oscar, thank you again for joining us. I believe you're going to shoot off now and get back and do some work in the main arena. Thank you very much, and we'll chat again shortly. So here we go. We're just seeing a few replays from Team 13. I'm not going to try and pronounce it again because it was a very complicated name. But if I got close, I've done well. I think it's the attractive... it's gone. It's on their T-shirts. It's the attractive Undreiswert. I think that's right. And if I'm wrong, please tweet us in and do it phonetically so I can have a go. So we're going to be joined in the studio in a moment or two by John. John, you will remember, is one of our friends from the live broadcast room here at First Lego League at Bath University Sports Training Village, and what a venue it is. John, first time on here at Bath University. What do you think of the venue?
It's a fantastic venue. It's full of fantastic people and great robots, so good combination.
And it's been a really interesting day. I mean, it's International Women in Engineering Day. We've got the 9% Not Enough campaign, because 9% of women in engineering globally is just not enough. We need to get that figure up. But not only that, there's loads and loads of young female competitors here taking part, and they could go on to great things, couldn't they?
Absolutely, and you know, it does make you question why those figures are as low as they are when you see all these young people and all the enthusiasm. So we've got to make sure we capture that and take it through in education.
Absolutely, and we've heard from a lot of the competitors earlier on who are female, who are saying things like this really excite them about engineering, and it helps for the future. I think we're going to be going to a game shortly. John, here, you've done a lot of stuff with First Lego League over the years. What are you seeing? What are the fantastic things we're seeing here from some of the actual competitors? And here we are looking at a team now. They've got 2 minutes 18 on. We missed the first bit, but here we go.
Yeah, I think one thing that stands out is the use of frames. I mean, we're seeing some really big frames, some tall frames, and often quite unwieldy, like that one there. So it comes back and they try again.
And this is all to do with just how they're starting and where it's turning.
It is.
And they're not quite getting it right, and they're keeping trying, but it's such a shame because if that had gone first time, they would have just got that and gone back.
If that had gone first time, it would have taken care of itself, Mark, but it's a recurring theme that doesn't always get there, and you can see, well, there you go, third time lucky. And they're milking away, and hopefully that little frame will release or pull it over, push it back.
This has been a run that you can see that had this gone brilliantly first time, this would be sailing through the next parts of all of its missions.
Mark, I can guarantee it went perfect in practice. And I bet they sailed through it.
And it's all to do with, you know, the pressure of the arena. There's thousands of people in there, there's noise, and your hands start sweating and shaking a bit, and things can go wrong from there, can't they?
It is, Mark, and you know, it's very easy as an adult to say to children, oh, well, just stay calm and all those sort of things. But to be honest, if I was there now, I'd be having a little mini panic. It's human nature. The great thing about them is they've carried on, and they're on to the next thing here, and hopefully
they've delivered that beautiful.
They've delivered the shark, and what went before is now, I'm sure, a distant memory, and they've got the action dog there sorted. They're going to have to take a penalty as it goes back to base. Whip one frame off, get another one on, and I'm always amazed at how easily they seem to do that, Mark. You know, I've been watching them across the afternoon, just popping them on, fine little adjustment again, get that frame up, get it in place.
And you've got to, I mean, this is Lego. This stuff bends and it breaks and it falls over. And the way that these guys do this, in the pressure they're under, in the time frames.
Mark, they must be using a different Lego from me, because I tell you, when I pick a Lego thing up in front of a group of people, things drop off the bottom.
Well, you've seen me on the table here. I've only got to touch anything. I mean, the gecko's been, we built the gecko about 8 times on the table.
I was people, I think, look at that, perfectly positioned, no honey coming out. They've got the bee on top, so they get some points.
And it's a big beast, this one, as well, so when it does go wrong, it does tend to move things out of the way, and that's the flip side of big versus small.
It is. We were having that conversation with one of the teams this afternoon. They've gone very much for a simple approach to things, and that's the balance. Do you build a large model that can sweep over and do most things, or do you go for a more subtle singular model?
We've just got news coming in here. We're just watching some replays here as the time runs down, but we've got a new leader on the scoreboard, and we saw their run earlier, John. It was sensational. The Caro Aces, I believe, are from Germany. They've put a 3-3-2 in. They've pipped the ROC over from Canada by 2 points.
Yeah.
And they've improved on yesterday, and it just shows round 1 to round 2 to round 3. If you can keep improving, you can get up there on the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, it also shows the strength of the German teams. That's another great performance there.
Absolutely, and we've got the German Eagles there. But the German Eagles there, they had a run yesterday that they pulled out of the bag on day 1, a 317er, but they've gone back a little bit, and maybe they tried something new that didn't quite come off.
Yeah, and that's the risk you take from day 1 to day 2. You go away, you think about it, and you think, tell you what, this will be a good idea. Well, maybe you should have stuck with it, but it's the nature of First Lego League. It's what makes it exciting.
It's interesting because there's a whole bunch of different ways of solving the problems, and you get different points for different things. So you can go out there on day 1 and perhaps go on a medium difficulty, get the points in the bag, and then on the second day you think, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to throw the kitchen sink at this one. It all goes wrong, and you don't improve.
Yeah, I was talking to a team from Canada this afternoon who were on the practice mat, and I said, well, how are you going to go about doing it? They said, well, to be honest, we're just rehearsing everything, and then when we're at the mat, we're going to make a decision. And that's a different way of doing it. You know, in the moment, see what feels right, and go for it. And,
yeah.
you know,
and whereas other teams, they literally have a game plan, they've rehearsed it, they do it, and that might come off or not for them.
Yeah, and the challenge for them is if you keep rehearsing something, you have a set routine. When something doesn't happen,
what happens then?
What happens then?
Yeah,
Can you
exactly.
adjust your feet quickly enough?
Exactly. So we're going back to another game now. We'll keep you informed of what's happening and try and keep you up with the scoreboard as well. We've got a table about to start over here. They've got some great support going on in there. There are 93 teams globally represented here. I think 37 countries. They've come over to the International Open Championships here at Bath University in the Sports Village, and we're about to see them starting there, John. Let's try and talk to people through. They're going to deliver that tank there.
Yeah.
They've left that part behind, which was superb. They're over there. They've released the blind guy with his dog. They've picked up some manure. They've picked up our little friend and
straight back.
And the bee as well. So
and
now
the
they can change the attachment.
all out the way, which is a good thing to do. Clears the way as well. Got a frame on top.
And they're over now to the and these are the Sesai Jedis from Brazil, I believe, John. And that is a fantastic piece of robot there.
It is a fantastic piece of robot. Now they've got to get it back. Perfectly done. Presume that frame's going to come off. It is.
An International Women in Engineering Day, and our 9% up. And there you can see we've got some young, fantastic ladies there sorting this robot out. It is going fantastically well. They're turning the milking machine now, John.
At the same time, while also doing a little delivery. Don't want to
No,
go
they're going
too
to pick
far.
something up here. They're picking that up.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. They're going to deliver those onto the barren land, I believe. Isn't that right?
I think they are.
Don't cut away now. No, we're going to see this. And whilst they're there, they're going to pick up. Look at this. They picked their seal camera up at the same time.
At the same time.
And now they've got to deliver those people.
Yeah, might have lost one on the milking machine just on the way.
Oh, and
they looks like 3 in there.
Yep, it did look like 3, and they've still got it. They're coming back.
Yeah,
They're
and
excited.
the smiles would say that was successful.
This is a good run. This is going
run.
great.
And another frame going on.
So this is a completely different frame now. They put it on, and they've
Yep,
shot all of
them
them
across. I love it when they
Oh
do
my
that.
word, that
Again.
was
And we're seeing that
fantastic.
more and more.
Look
You can
at the
see
excitement.
enthusiasm behind. And as you say, Mark, women in engineers, well, on this basis,
that was gold dust.
great.
To see that close up then
And
of
look
it
at the height of this frame.
Look at this. What are they going to do? They're going to spin. They're going to do
They're gonna
this
go
is the
for the
breeding
spin.
program. They're dropping
Yep.
some bits down at the same time. They're spinning it.
Done their spin.
They're
Is
going to
it
drop.
gonna release the frame?
They're just
Yeah,
leaving it
it's
over
leaving
the
it
lines.
behind,
They're back.
absolutely
This is
fine.
superb. I'm really,
That's
really
brilliant.
excited for this run.
And
We've
here
got
we go. Oh, we got 37 seconds.
Okay, they're
Come on.
delivering our little friend, and they're going to put the bee on top of the honey
All at
bee
the
hive
same
here.
time.
They've dropped that down,
Drop
and they
the
picked
bee,
up the honey
and
at the
then
same time.
perfect.
This is a
I mean,
sensational
you almost
run.
can't see it, Mark. It's going so quick.
It is, and I hope we'll see some of the replays of this, because this
Absolutely
is
fantastic.
sensational.
And here we go.
What are they doing there? They've dropped some sort of delivery mechanism. That was brilliant. And
Yeah.
they're coming over
And
to the
around-
lift. They've
oh,
got
they're going to get it on the wall before the
16
time goes.
seconds left.
Go
They're going
on.
to lift it. Come on,
Get
let's
it
see
up
this.
there.
Oh my
In
word.
place.
Oh, that is sensational. They have left the robot hanging and
Oh, I
delivered.
tell you, Mark, look at that time to spare.
I can't believe that
They've
is.
even incorporated time to jump up and down.
To see that live and to see that and be. This is brilliant. Look at the weight go over. That was.
I tell you.
That is
absolutely-
incredible,
absolutely
absolutely
brilliant.
incredible. Well, we're going to see some replays now. That was them. This is them on the actual machine,
Yep.
taking some of the food out here, beautifully executed.
Yeah, and it just got better and better, Mark, to be honest. They started multitasking, collecting things together there, delivering things at one time. And if you almost, your eyes, they don't know where to look.
No, I
on the
couldn't
board.
keep up with it. That robot was doing so many different things at the same
fantastic.
time. It was fantastic. And at times you thought it's gone wrong, but no, it just delivered it, carried on
Yep.
moving. Absolutely incredible.
And
This
was
was
a great
brilliant.
one, wasn't it? This is delivering our little friend,
And
getting
doing the honey, and taking it back. And this is sensational. We didn't know where this was going. I hope we see this.
This is my
through.
best memory so far of First Leg League.
Absolutely sensational. The weight goes over to balance it. Whoa, it
Oh,
didn't fall. Absolutely superb. The weight going over and the robot still staying on the wall was just sensational.
We'll just watch replays of that.
I'll tell you what, I could watch that all day. I could watch this. That was fantastic. I don't know what the points are going to be like on that. It's all down to now what they actually, how accurate they were.
Can we watch it again so I can do a better commentary on it? Because it deserves a better
It deserved it. And we tried our best there, but there was so much going on at one
fantastic.
time. Absolutely fantastic.
I think the other nice thing was, Mark, there was about 10 seconds left. So
yeah,
it was time
absolutely.
For a lap of honour.
Just
And
look
great
at that.
to see
That
the
was
celebration.
beautiful, the way they delivered all of that. So we're going to be going to another game. We'll try and bring you the scores for that in a second when we get those through. But another game's coming through, John. They're coming thick and fast now. And there it was. Wow, sensational. We got really excited by that. I hope you did too. What a game. The end part then. I mean, again, we come back to this. This is not, I've just broken it. Look. I've just broken it actually, which is just great. Here we go. It really is quite flimsy. And that, they threw a weight over. That was their kind of engine. Threw the brain over to give it some balance and then lifted it up off the bottom and it stayed up.
And there are a fair few teams that have chosen not to do that because it is very difficult and it's a very light
and whilst that was happening, they delivered the chameleon onto the side as well. I mean, it was just
simultaneous, perfect.
Fantastic. Hopefully we'll get the scores through. I just broke that so you can literally see how I cannot take part in this competition.
To be fair, you have broken most things.
Yeah, well, it's part of the reason I'm too old and I'm also clumsy. So, yeah. Wow. Well, that was incredible, wasn't it?
Well, I'm pleased that we spoke about women in engineering before that, because that was the perfect little answer to it. There aren't, what are the obstacles? They're obviously there because the talent is there.
One of the things that we keep trying to get across is engineering feels like it's a small field. And actually, it's so vast. There are so many amazing careers in engineering that if we can just get young female students to understand that it's a career choice that will take them on a career path that will go on throughout their life. They'll keep finding new avenues to go into, new things to explore. And by the time they get into their 60s, they'll think, oh my God, what an amazing career I've had. And there's not many careers that actually give you that opportunity.
No, and that's the exciting thing about it. And one of the nice things about being here is that, all right, we've got that big hall, but at the same time, there's a lot of videos playing, a lot of women in engineering speaking about their jobs and the sort of things they do. And that's what we need to get across to young people. There are opportunities and they're not set down for particular people. If you aspire to it, you can achieve it.
And it's an international career. There are very few careers where you can study something in the UK or study something in India or China or wherever, and then 3 years later you might be working in America or you might be working in France because it crosses boundaries. And so it gives your career the ability to go around the world, to travel, to see new things, to work on new projects, and to really solve things that society needs solving.
Absolutely. I mean, to be honest with you, we'd benefit from it because these are the people that are going to come through and make the changes to the world that we'll then retire in and relax in. And that's what excites me, Mark. It's going to be an exciting world ahead if young people with those sort of skills, that sort of creativity, can apply it to the world of engineering. It's transformational.
Absolutely. And everything that we touch, everything that touches us has had engineering behind it.
It has.
Whether it be phones, television, communication, electricity, buildings, food production, everything has...
Medical science, the whole thing.
Everything.
It's all about
it's a
engineering.
massive field. It's a massive field. So I think now we're going to have a quick look at the scoreboard if we can. That'll be a fantastic thing to do right now. And John, maybe you can talk us through the scores.
Yeah, so let's have a little look at the score. We're not starting there at the top of the scoreboard, but we are seeing some of the early results. We'll just scroll the way through. We talked about the team from Germany up there at the top with a great second round score.
But you can see their Capricorns are down there in 8th place at the moment, but they've gone from 184 to 281. A fantastic improvement, and that's what we like to see.
Yeah, and that's what ideally, if you put it on a graph, your graph shows an upward trend across the different rounds. Not always the case, because you might, take a leap of faith and try putting your robot out there on the edge. But yeah, we've got some great scores coming in there, some really high scores.
So John, just quickly talk to us about, that Cairo Aces that we saw put a 3-3-2 in.
So they put a 3-3-2 in. Great score that. again, they will have had a game plan on that. They obviously looked at how they performed the day before. Big score the day before as well, but it's those final little adjustments that make all the difference. And I think we're now looking at another game.
Oh, we're back on live now. So this is a completely different style of robot there, you can see, John. It is awesome.
Much smaller. Looks like it's got a more permanent, but they are still having a little change of frame there.
And I think this team have got some fantastically innovative ideas as well. But like we were saying there, a much smaller robot, but really nimble, really fast,
it can
moves
really
backwards and
maneuver
forward.
itself.
I'm wondering whether or not this is...
farmyard friend has been collected straight in there, little adjustment.
It is. This is the ROC team who got a 3:30 yesterday, John.
Oh, fantastic.
And this is what we... Now watch this, everybody. This is sensational. This is what everybody has been talking about here. They've got a robot shooter they've just put down there. They're now attaching a lot of pieces.
Yep.
They're going to use that as the guide. You can see it run along.
Yeah.
Here we go. They're just resetting that. So you can see here, even for a team that had a run yesterday that absolutely went perfectly, they're having a few issues. But look at that, one at a time,
into
their net.
Their Lego sail.
Absolutely fantastic. They have to shoot them one at a time. They can't do all 5 at the same time.
They do, and obviously that sail is out of a Lego kit, so
Absolutely.
it can be used. That's the important. That's the important of it. But yeah, I guess I didn't see it yesterday. I saw it in rehearsal this morning. Maybe didn't go quite as smoothly, but they've moved on. And
here they go. And again, look at the way that they do this. This is fantastic. They've got a big wheel main part of the robot here. And that makes it quite smooth, doesn't it?
It does. It looked like it was a good follow there. Got the mill.
And they're using light sensors here to pick up the lines. That's why you can drive in such straight lines.
They are. You can see the little red light with the light
red
sensor
glow there,
just underneath. Just trying to watch. I think they're not quite sure on the Panda. That's kind of...
No, they've done it fully on the way back. How cool. That's the Panda release, release program. That's
fantastic.
Right. And they're going to turn round now, and we're seeing something different. I haven't seen this before. They're just turning round. Here they go. What are they going to do next? They're coming round. They're going to... I think they'll probably do the breeding program here and flip it. Here we go.
There we go.
Look at that.
Absolutely beautiful flip, straight in. Oh, they're going to go. They're obviously going to go back.
They've got 10 seconds. I think yesterday they had a little bit more time, but today,
but look at
the speed that they're working on. And you can see the guide there. They're setting it off. They've got 3 seconds left. Wow. They come flying over, and we're going to see them. Oh! And that would have been the actual, the model lift there at the end. We're going to quickly look at some replays here from ROC. And while we're doing that, John, I think we're going to swap you out now. So, John, we'll talk to you again later on. Thank you so much for your insight, and we'll see you in a second. And this is Team ROC. They had the 330. You can see them firing there into their net built of sails, all Lego parts. Nothing on the table that they can have can be made out of non-Lego parts. So it is fantastic. So we can see here the Team ROC, they were in the lead yesterday with a 330 run, and I believe that now another team have taken the top score with 337, and we're now joined in the studio. That was fantastic, wasn't it?
That's really good.
Fabulous. So just tell us a bit about yourself, introduce yourself to us.
I'm like from B6 Beryllium, like Oscar came around before, and I've been competing actually for 3 years. It was my 3rd year. It's pretty fun, and you can do lots of stuff.
It's been a journey for you, hasn't it, really? And you ended up out there in the States, did you?
Yeah, we ended up over there. We got like 21st of the robot. It was really good. And it was great fun as well.
And what do you think of this table? What do you think of the performances we're seeing so far?
They're really good. Like there's a lot of them that are really good and like impressive ways of solving the missions, things that I haven't seen yet. And like I was really impressed by the way people approach different the mission in different ways.
And it's amazingly interesting because we saw there the ROC team, and we're seeing some of the teams walking through the back of the studio now, and they're getting so excited. But Team ROC there, they had a run yesterday where, and we're going to go to another game now. They're coming in thick and fast, but there we are at the moment with a 349. The Ceci Jedis have burst into the lead above the Carol Aces. And we'll hopefully pick up on that later. But here we are with a run now, and this is... I can't remember which team this is. We'll bring the team name to you in a second. But they've got a different start here completely. But this can still do well.
This is a really simple robot, and really simple robots do really well because they have simple missions. And since they're not complex, they can't fail as much because complex robots have so many things that they have to do that if they miss something, they might miss the rest. So simple robots are also really good.
And they're doing exceptionally well here. So they've come up with a different way of solving the problems. They're quite a young team, and they're doing really well. And you'll see here now with the tank, the fish tank push, They make sure that the fish has to stay upright or they lose points. They've taken it over and they've got it into where, and they've left apart and they come back. That was beautifully executed. That gets them nice points in the bag.
That was great. I think that was a good approach because some teams do it and try to do it too quickly, and then the shark just falls over, hits the tank, and then they lose points for that. So sometimes taking your time in some missions is always worth it, since you have to get as many points as you can.
So they're putting in some of the foods now from the fridge that they've collected into some buckets here, and they're going to distribute those around the tables, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to put it in the animal circles.
And this is all good points. So they've programmed it up. They've got a nice small thing, a nice small robot. Off they go. The light sensor picks up the line there.
Yeah,
you can see that. It's nicely done. And then while they get over there, they line it up.
Really
and they're
nice.
going to. And look at that.
That was really good.
That was beautiful. To see that,
sides,
just to knock them on both sides straight into those circles there, pick up the points and head straight back.
I'd never seen that before. Like, I've seen different ways of doing that, like dropping it on the sides, but not this kind of way of just.
And the programming
really
that they put in there to get the right strength of hit to move that across was beautiful, wasn't it?
That was amazing.
So now they've got 38 seconds, 37 seconds remaining here. They're picking up some of the humans there. They've got them on their little kind of pickups, and they've now got to deliver those into the barren land so that they can dig in the manure to turn that into fertile soil, isn't it? So off it goes now. We've got 24 seconds on the clock running down. They've just touched that. Maybe they needed it too, but it looks like this could be going a little bit haywire. And again, that was just probably one or two touches. And it's gone.
Or maybe it didn't come out well outside of base. It's always about placing the rod.
And that's such a shame. It's such a shame because
everything went so well until that last mission.
You can see there from what was a great run. One little thing goes wrong. It's set off from out of the box, and it can all go really, really, really sort of south, can't it?
Yeah. It's just about taking your time and
beautiful.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Watching it follow the line here, down with the little light sensors.
And then it just throws it. Oh, it's using a dart, so it's got it on the side.
It has a dart and pushes it out.
I didn't see the dart.
Yeah, absolutely sensational.
Oh, amazing.
And here, just a few things went wrong, and then you can see all that good work, and suddenly all those points just evaporate. And I feel for that team because that was a great run there we saw. It was going fantastically well. We were getting excited, and then suddenly something goes wrong. You know, what we were trying to explain earlier, and it's difficult to describe here without a sort of a robot to set it off, but we use the helicopter if we can. But they're setting off the robots from their sort of base area, which is like this quadrant in the corner of a circle. And you see some teams have kind of got another bit of Lego. Maybe this is the first time we use that. They put that against the wall, and so they know it's setting off in a straight line. It looks like we've got another game going on now. We'll come back to that, and we'll take you straight into the game here. Look at this machine. This is really taking the food out there. Very fast. Very fast. You can hear lots of noise going on. There's lots of excited people running around because the games are truly underway now.
Everyone getting ready because they're going to go up next and everything. Picking up the robots and getting them ready.
just explain to us what we're seeing there at the moment.
Well, they're basically swapping the accessories, and now they're going to a different one. And it's sort of like they've put some sort of sensor. I don't know if it's a gyro sensor or a sound sensor or something. And they're going to use that later on, I'm guessing, for like the mission that they're doing.
So they've got 146. This is fantastic now. They're coming over the top here. You can see the light sensors there on the front. Now, just explain to us what the difference between the blue and the red light sensors that we see are.
If it's a red sensor, it means it's detecting light intensity. And if it's blue or any kind of color that is not red, that means it's looking for a certain color. So this way it can detect between green and red or whatever.
I get you. So there's different sensors there, and they're using this really well.
If you can see the sensor in the middle of the robot, that's another sensor, and it's called a gyro sensor, and it's used to know the position you're in, like what you're looking towards.
Wow.
So this way they can do really precise turns, and they know where they're looking at.
So just for all you people out there around the globe, thanks for tuning in today. We're seeing a team here going really well on the board at the moment. 59. Look at the way they that was so close, the way they nearly got that human there into the barren land.
That was so really close. Well done.
And the way they flipped open the Panda release system there was beautiful, wasn't it?
And I think that was a really good thing that they picked up the robot, because now it was getting out of control and they managed to do a lot, and now it was just the right moment to pick it up.
Fantastic. And they're changing over now. They're putting a different model, a different frame on the front.
Yeah, you can call it accessory or whatever.
And you can see here now just that they couldn't quite get that off, and that's taking a bit of time off them. We hope they've still got enough time left.
They've got 30 seconds. And if that's their last mission, they should have.
And there's a little
time.
guide
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
back
yeah.
there. We can see that, just a little guide just to help them get set off. They're going over.
And now they're just throwing one
Delivering
by one.
food?
Yeah, to the sides and just dropping them to the ones that they
How
have.
fantastic. And just watch this.
That is really good.
And then it picks up a couple over there. It's going to come over here. Now watch the mechanism there is sensational.
That is a really good mechanism to drop it. Oh, they're going to have just enough time to finish.
And we've got 4 seconds. They got it inside the lines, and that was brilliant. Okay, we're going to take another guest now. Thanks so much for popping in and seeing us. We'll catch you again later, and we'll be taking a new game. We're going to be joined by Beatrice. I'm excited about meeting Beatrice in a moment. She's from Cesar Jedi from Brazil. Cesar Jedis have jumped from 3:09. They were down in about 4th place, I believe, earlier on in the day from run 1 yesterday. If I remember rightly, they were 5th. I think 4th equal was where it was. I think there was another 3:09, but 5th or 4th equal. They've had a fantastic run today. They've come through from 5th place right up there into the lead at the moment. And I'm joined with Beatrice, is that right?
Yeah.
Fantastic to meet you, Beatrice. We're coming through down to the studio. What a run today. I mean, how did you do that? That was incredible.
Oh, yeah, we trained a lot, and actually our team did 354 points. Is our maximum points.
That's the most you've ever done.
Yeah, but today we did 349 points. So it's incredible.
And you know, yesterday you did a 3:09. And what made the difference between yesterday and today? Did you use the same program?
So we changed a little things in programming because the curves and these simple things that make a lot of difference. So we trained a lot and we found the better way to do other missions, and then that's it, the result today.
And so you think you've got another 6 points in the bag that you could improve on tomorrow?
I'm not gonna say no, but I hope yes, I hope yeah.
And so we could be seeing you know, improving again tomorrow. Is there any way you can go above the 354, or is that the maximum you can get?
Actually, I think we can get 364 points.
364. So,
yeah.
You know, we'll be looking out for you tomorrow as well then. And how's it been here over in the UK? You come in from Brazil, I believe?
Yeah, I'm from Brazil. Our team is entire from Brazil. And it's our first time here.
In the UK?
In the UK, yeah.
And you enjoying it?
No, a lot, yeah. I say in Portuguese here, sorry. So it's a beautiful country. I love the culture, especially it's one of my favorite countries in the world. So.
Wow, fantastic. And when did you arrive?
We arrived Tuesday.
So you literally came in Tuesday,
yeah,
you've flown the models in, you've set it all
and we
up.
already started with the championship, so it was run.
Yeah, and it was hot on Tuesday,
Yeah.
right? Well, probably not for you guys in Brazil, but for us in England, we were
No,
cooking over
it's
here.
hot for me too, because in Brazil it's winter.
Oh, right, at the moment.
So
okay.
yeah, it's kind of cold. It's
Yeah.
not cold like here, but it's...
Well, we normally get winter all year round, but I'll tell you what, that was hot the other day, and you know, in the main auditorium, it was hot out there. So you flew and you've done all that, and then you're staying a bit longer at the end to have a look around the UK, or are you going straight back out after the
we're
tournament
going to
finishes?
London, I guess, Saturday?
On Saturday,
Sunday,
right?
yeah, Sunday.
Sunday, right.
Sunday, sorry. I guess we're going to London, and then we're going to pass 2 or 3 years there, then we go back to Brazil.
Brilliant, fantastic. And how many people are in the team of your team?
We have 8 people in the team, and we have a mentor and a coach.
Wow. And have you brought any other family over with you? I think, are you going to be able to stay with us to commentate on a game now? Do you want to help me commentate on the next game?
Sorry?
We're going to talk through what happens in the next game. Is that okay? Do you want to stay with us? Here we go.
Yeah,
We're going to team up
okay,
now then.
let's see.
Thank you so much, Beatrice. So here we go. We've got 2 minutes 15. This is a huge robot. I mean,
yeah, it's a lot. The attachment is big too, so...
Yeah, so you could end up, you know, you've got to be careful with this, but look at
it's
that.
from Brazil too. It's a SESI Phoenix.
Ah,
it's from Brazil.
fantastic.
Yeah. We are SES Jedis, they are SES Phoenix.
And do you know each other in Brazil? Or?
Yeah, we are at the same school but in different places, you know?
Got it. Right, okay, fantastic. And so this robot here, is it a very different design than your own robot?
Yeah, our robot has attachment in the front and they just like, you know, yeah, it's different, the shape
Very
of the
different.
robot.
It's amazing
yeah.
how, you know, different teams come up with so many different designs.
Yeah, and
isn't
can
it?
work all the missions. It's very good.
And what's been the thing that you've gone, oh, I wish we'd designed something like that? Is there another robot have you seen the one that shoots stuff?
Yeah, I saw a lot of teams that shoot all the menus.
The menus, yeah. So, and you've not done that, you've done a different approach, have you?
Yeah, we did the same, but with a different attachment and with a different kind of we launched the
And so while we're watching here, and we'll just try and keep you up to date with what's going on, you know, has this made you excited about engineering?
Sorry?
Do you like the idea of engineering as a
Yeah,
career?
I love it because I guess I don't know how I'm gonna do in the future, but I love the idea that we can construct things and help lots of people with this. So the field example, we create a lot of things that will help the animals, and it's very nice. This I love
Absolutely, it's all about the environment, isn't it? And the amazing thing today as well, with such, I mean, you've got quite, how many girls are in your team?
Girls?
How many girls, females are in your team?
We are most of the girls.
So mostly girls, right?
Yeah, it's 6 girls and 2 boys.
So 6 girls and 2 boys, and it's International Women in Engineering Day today.
Yeah.
There's 6 girls on your team, and you're leading the competition at the moment. So you can't get better than that for us, can you really?
Yeah.
We've got a campaign going on at the moment called 9% is
Yeah,
not enough.
I did the interview. So
Fantastic. So, you know, we got 9% is not enough, International Women in Engineering Day, and there's 6 girls out of 8 on your team, and you're leading the competition. That says it all about First Lego League, doesn't it, really? So it's been fantastic. Well, Beatrice, thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you.
I think they're going to quickly cut back to us in the studio now. But in the meantime, thank you so much indeed for coming down and speaking to us.
Thank you.
And we'll speak to you again. Good luck tomorrow. So that was Beatrice there from Sesai Jedis from Brazil. How fantastic. They've come all the way over from the UK. There's 6 girls on the team out of 8 of them. And on International Women in Engineering Day, you can't get a better advert for International Women in Engineering Day than having Sesai Jedis leading at the moment on 349. ROC, we've got someone from ROC coming in to see us, but they're on 330. They had a great run, and today's run didn't go so well. I think it went probably as well, but we'll see. I don't think it was quite as good. And the Cairo Aces have jumped up there into second place on 332. And now we're joined by a lovely chap here from ROC. What's your name, Squire?
My name is Jeffrey.
Jeffrey, fantastic. Now, you're from ROC, aren't you? Where have you come from?
We came from Canada.
So you've come over from Canada, you've brought your fantastic model, and everybody's talking about your robot. I think it's because you do this amazing thing of shooting the manure, don't you?
Yeah.
Wow, who came up with that as an idea?
So we first actually made a motor to shoot it, but then we figured out it was really, really slow and really, really unreliable. So we switched into using a rubber band to shoot it. Well, we got the idea, but then it was still really slow. So we were just like, why don't we just add more cannons? And then we got a great idea.
Fantastic. Well, Jeffrey, we're going to now look at a live game, if that's all right. Will you help me sort of talk people through at home so they can see this, what's going on, you know? So they've got 2 minutes 14 left on the clock there. I think you can see it's the Norwegian team. And everybody has a different idea on the models, don't they, and on the robots. Everybody comes up with a different way of doing things.
So I think they're trying to do the shark without actually going between the barriers. So
What a great way of doing that. And now they're jumping straight over here to release the guide dog, aren't they? And they've got a really compact model here, very different than your own in looks, isn't it?
Yeah. Ours use a universal arm, so it's parallel, so the point is always, you know, like parallel to the floor. And
It looked fantastic. We watched yours earlier, absolutely. And it didn't quite as well today as yesterday, do you think?
I think today we were a bit slow, and then we were modifying our code last minute because.
We'll talk to you about that in a second then when we see the end of this run here from the Norwegians. But a really good point you make there. And so here it comes again. Now this is where it drops the bee onto the beehive, and then they get the honey out of that, don't you? And you take it back with you if you can.
Yeah, for 3 points.
And here we go here. They're actually picking up some of the humans here, and they need to transport those over onto the wasteland to make sort of fertile land, don't they?
Yeah, and they get 12 points, I think.
12 points. You know all the points as Mike could have done.
I think so.
They're dropping food there to the animals. And that's a good point scoring, isn't it? Dropping the food gets you good points.
Yeah, each food is like 10, which is
10.
a lot.
So if you do 2 into circles, that's fantastic. And there they are. They've just put a human down there. I think they're trying to pick that one up. They've moved it now, and they're going to put those there onto the barren land. They've dropped the other one as well. You've got 2 humans there. And now they're coming with the arm to pick up the camera there. And they've done that. This is going really well for them, actually. They've opened up the panda release. That's fantastic. And I don't know what they're going to do with that manure in the front, but let's see what happens.
I think it just gets shoved.
They're going to shove it out the way, and then they're on their way back now. And now we'll see what they do here. They're turning around. I think they're going to come back and try and move the milking machine round and take the milk. This is a great run. They've got 14 seconds left here. Let's see what they can do. And now they're coming over and they need to get back into their zone. I think now with some of the parts they're coming through, they've not got long left, there's a second to go. And they've just missed out on getting the robot back there. That was a shame. So we're joined here in the studio, if you didn't see us earlier, by the ROC. And what's your role within the team? It's Jeffrey, isn't it?
Yes.
What's your role within the team? Are you the programmer or are you a builder? What do you do the most
I kind of do both. So I give them advice to program, and then for building, our coach is really, really nice, and he's really experienced. So when he tells me to do something, I usually just try to do my best on it. And
fantastic. And you had the most amazing run yesterday. You came from your first run straight up there, 330 points, was sensational. And today's run didn't quite go as well, but you mentioned just before that you did a few changes to the program. Why did you do that? Did that make it worse or did it make it better? And why last minute?
so here's the thing: when every single robot, they can react differently to every single table.
Yep.
We brought a set so we can program. It's in our lounge. That set worked like all perfect. So we saved the code and tried it on here. Well, it didn't work out that well because maybe it's a table, the color sensors, brick, I don't know, but it just doesn't seem to be that well.
So you tried to change something, it hasn't worked. What will you do now? Will you go away and do some more programming, see what's happening, and try and improve for tomorrow?
We will probably try to do it a couple of times on different robots. We have like 3 robots actually. We do have 3. So we can test how reliable our code is.
We're going to jump now to another live game here, Jeffrey, here in the studio. Here we go again. We've got 220, and it's brilliant just to see all the different designs, isn't it? Different ways of doing it. So we've got a team here. They've got a fantastic costume. You've got a guy there with a drum, and you've probably heard them going past when we're in the studio as well. But here the guys are. They're putting some attachments on now, setting up and when their fingers are going in the top there, what are they actually doing? What are they doing with their fingers on the top?
They're accessing the program because on the brick there's like a list of programs, and then you press the down button, just to access the program.
So that's what they're doing there. If you're thinking at home, what were they doing with their fingers? They're actually going inside the robot and choosing which program they're going to run. And that's how you can react to what's happening. If something goes wrong, you can change to a different program and go from there, can't you?
Yeah.
And here they go, they're putting on some more bits of robot now, and you can see them putting on attachments. They've got some sort of mechanism here to bring things back by the look of things, and a kind of arm at the front that looks like they're going to pick things up as well, maybe on the way back.
Sure.
So here they come, they're setting off now. We can see them coming through. They're going to deliver that. Oh, and that's the arms to pull on the fridge to get the food. We're not quite seeing that there in the images that we're getting sent through here to the studio, but I'm sure you can imagine at home that's putting on the fridge, isn't it? And you're taking, how many pieces of food are inside the fridge there?
There's 8 in total, and they're different colors.
And what are the colors for?
So if 2 colors are in the same circle, you get 20 points.
Right.
But if, for example, there's 2 yellows.
Yes.
And then, so you get 20 points. But then if there's 1 yellow and 1 blue, then you get no points.
Oh, right, so you have to, and what happens if you only put 1 in the circle?
Then you only get 10.
So you're better off putting 1 than different colors then, right?
Yes, that's true.
Excellent. So that's a really good explanation there on what the color system is for what's going on there. So they've got 36 seconds left on the clock here. It's not been a blistering run here from the Robo Riders, but I think it's a better run than yesterday from what I can remember. And what a great team, what a great spirit they've got going behind. You can see people getting excited here, and they delivered that. That was just out of, I think that moved, it was just a little bit out of the circle there.
Let's hope the refs are nice and give it to them.
Yeah, it just depends, doesn't it? If the referee gives them that, that'll be fantastic. But what a great run here again, and they're getting excited. There's 9 seconds left. I think they're going to try and deliver this into a circle here, and then we'll see some replays coming up. Okay, so what we're going to get here now, after we've seen the end of the Robo Riders, is we're going to see your team now. Cool. This was your run earlier. We're going to see some replays live. So here we go. Talk us through what's happening here then.
So right there, we're trying to get the food. Getting the food is like really reliable for us. It's always been a reliable task. There's hooks under the arm that grab on and push and pull.
And you've got loads of different attachments, haven't you? And the way you set off, and you have these guides to make sure it sets off in the right direction. Fantastic. And the skill there of your robot was sensational, wasn't it?
We try to speed everything fast.
Yeah. And so just explain to us now, what's happening now? What's this big thing here? This is fantastic. This is your manure shooter.
So it's a machine gun that sets off manure. So instead of shooting one, I mean, we can't shoot all of them at the same time.
These guys dress neatly in red. They are the Robot Rebels.
We're red, we're white, we play like dynamite. Robot Rebels.
Give them a nice big round of applause. On table 12, the Battle of England commences. With their flags, they're raised high. They are the unstoppable Tech Heads.
Wow, there was some attitude there, Darren.
Right, we're just holding on for a couple of seconds, double checking that the tables are okay. Of course, referees, raise your flags if your table and your team are ready.
And of course, my favourite referee hasn't raised his flag yet.
We cursed the referee, the flag raising.
We cursed him. As soon as we said he was the best, his arm stays down.
Of course, don't forget, just to confirm, the science show is right here in the main stage, not at the pit area. It's in the main stage. Okay, right here, it's going to be great as well. I was talking to one of the scientists earlier, and they're going to use Colin up on stage, and they might carry out some scientific experiments on him.
Oh, no, they're not.
But it cost me £50.
I will go 100 and get you up there instead.
Tables 11 and 12, number 10 is ready.
We are getting close, I believe. The team from Korea. Yep, we are.
Right. We are going to just hold on for a couple of seconds more as we begin that countdown. We're building up the tension right here at the International Festival here in the UK. Of course, it is 2017, and we are going to be looking forward to Saturday's ceremony. That's going to be opening. We're going to be up on stage.
Attempt next, though.
Table 9 have just managed to spin the cooperation mission and do that thing that I've seen a few teams do, lower down arms on either side of the robot to deliver the food.
Looks like this robot over here is quite reliable. Not attempting to give the food to the flamingo at the moment. It looks like we're crossing the road over here as well.
Table 9 have just used a really cool carabiner system to pick up the woman. It allows the woman's the hoop to go through one way, but when the robot reverses, the hoop catches, and it's not allowed to escape.
Oh, nice. We've got the gorilla being fed over here and the cooperation task being attempted. How are you doing, Tom?
Over on table 10, they're going for the food, but oh, that arm that pulls the lever just missed, and it looks like they're not going to be able to get that this time.
That's really unfortunate. They still have a round tomorrow. We've left a massive attachment on the board over here. Quite clever that the robot reversed out of the attachment, which was quite cool to see.
That's very cool. Oh, looks like they just pushed it a bit further.
Yeah. And emptied the hive of the honey as well. It looks like we can deliver the animals too.
Here on table 9, I've seen a lot of manure shooters, but this one didn't actually have anything to catch it. They use an arm to flick it around and then try to bounce it off the wall and make it stop in the right place. I can see one of them in there, not sure whether they managed to get that in.
We've got the bat being fed by looks of things. Oh, I think it's been knocked out of place, but that's fine. The looks like we might release the panda over here back into the wild.
Seeing a gecko on the floor over here, didn't quite make it onto the wall, but that's okay. Like you say, round 3 tomorrow, everything's still to play for.
Time's up.
That's your time.
Time's up.
That's your time. I didn't hear any noise, but I saw the clock click down to 0. Right, so we're back here at table 1 and at table 2. I will make my way over to the very vibrant orange-coloured T-shirts here. They are from the Netherlands, and they are called...
Kom eens,
Cadmus Creators, thank you so much. You can probably hear the next team you can probably hear them all week, actually. Here they are, come over here. On table two, I have the very musical team from Brazil. They're called Visão Eletrosmart!
Just superb. Right, on table 3 and 4, we're going to be battling it out, because on table 3 we have, all the way from Cyprus, the Klek Robotics. And getting ready with a very, very large robot indeed, of course. All the way from India, the Layaks.
Wow.
Both flags on both tables are raised. Teams, get ready. 3, 2, 1. Lego!
So it looks like the team on table 4 here going straight for that shark mission, and a ramp drops down and a smaller robot drives off it. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. They go over that service dog mission. Brilliant.
We've had the fresh being empty and a lightning speed over there, and all of the animals being brought back to base already. It's great to see.
A super speedy changeover on table 3, making sure they're saving as much time as possible, delivering that shark tank into that target zone, and getting the 20 bonus points for the sharks still standing.
I'm loving the piece of orange Lego here on the Dutch team. And on the other team, we've got, looks like they're going to deliver the bee to the hive, see if they get that honey back to base.
Another huge frame here on table 4. Looks like they're putting another small robot onto that frame. They're using a section of gears to use the motors on the small robot to drive through a big frame.
We've had the 2 people delivered safely to the safe zone on table 2 over here. Unfortunately, I don't think would be quite out of the hive.
Yeah, same here on table 3. Just didn't quite stay on the hive, but it did actually release the hive, so they still get the points for that.
I like that little way of collecting milk on table 4 over there, Joe.
They managed to actually capture the milk as it fell. It was brilliant, yeah. Made sure it stayed where it was.
That's good to see. We've got the shark being delivered over here successfully by the looks of things without touching the edges, which is great. And another big attachment being put on table 2 over here.
Yeah, we've got huge attachments here from the team from India. Absolutely brilliant. They deliver loads of things into that service area.
Yeah, we've just had the bat being played, which is great. And I think quick attachment change here on table 2.
Lots of feeding as well on table 3. Absolutely brilliant way of doing the pets, the cooperation mission, where they did put debris onto the other team. If that interferes, that will cause a big problem.
We've got an interesting way of doing food here on table 1. And it looks like they're going to try and get onto the wall. We have 18 seconds left. Wonder if they'll make it. I really hope they do.
Yeah, looks like we're trying to get onto the 5-minute wall here with the Indian team.
Oh, the noise of the drum there from the team from Brazil. Here at table 5, I am with the team from Mexico, and they're called the Bears! Loving the cheering here at table 6 in their lovely blue t-shirts. They're from Slovenia, and they're called Despicable
Do you know what this is what it's all about? It's team building. These guys are walking around shaking hands with each other. It is on table 7 from Lebanon, Technofusion! And on
that is what we like seeing. We like seeing teams that come along, post a score day 1, improve and jump right up there to 311. I know someone who'll be excited about that. That's John. John's back in the studio with us now, and just seeing Orbit there, they've gone from the 220s up to the 3s, and that's amazing.
And that's what it's about, isn't it?
Absolutely sensational.
You give the message to people to keep trying, keep improving, and it can seem like a fake message. Then you see a scoreboard, and actually, it's the reality of the situation.
I don't know if you saw me chatting there earlier to ROC. I think we've got an imaginary hand coming in now.
That's for a little
This
bottle
is
of water, because
sensational.
I've been shouting. It's actually for
Is that
me.
for you, is it? Oh, well, I'll grab my
ordered
own
one.
from down here then. I don't get cold water. But it has been a busy day. We're absolutely flying through the games at the moment. We saw there, I think it was Jeffrey from ROCO from Canada, and he's a 10-year-old guy who was just talking about the technical background and the information and the IT behind it and the programming, and he just knew so much about it. But not only that, they've got a massive point score as well. These guys are amazing.
Yeah, well, I was looking at their model this morning. I think they've got the extra arm frame.
That's
that
right,
put
and
on
they
there.
fire the manure. They're the manure
Yeah,
firers.
and of course, we were having the conversation this morning that Canada's famous for developing the arm on the International Space Station. So they've kind of taken an engineering aspect that's out there in the name of their own country and put it on their Mindstorms model, and it brings success.
And look at what they're doing. And also we saw earlier as well, I can't remember the name, I think it was the Sesai Jedis, I think it is, and they've got 6 girls out of a team of 8. So on International Women in Engineering Day and our 9% Not Enough campaign, which is about the fact that 9% of engineers worldwide are women, which is just not enough. We need to get that going. But that team there are leading at the moment, and there's 6 out of 8 women on the team. What a fantastic story for First Lego League.
It is a fantastic story, and that's what it's about. It's about getting females to step forward to the table, and once they're at the table, they do great things.
And you could see how excited they were as well, and what how fantastic to have one of them in the studio as well earlier. So it has got a bit quiet here in the studio now. I think everybody's just milled away, gone out now to have a look at some of the games that are going on, see what's happening, but we'll keep you up to date with what's going on. So John, we were looking at earlier with one of the other guys, I think it was with Joe, we were looking at the fact that a lot of the teams bring something in. I'm using the fish tank here as just a lump of Lego, but they put it against the corner, and then they put their robot in, which we'll say is the helicopter, and they set it off using, say, this as a guide.
Yep.
What's that about? Why are they doing that?
Well, I mean, accuracy is an important thing, and it's interesting that you pick up the shark, because the other thing that we're seeing is a lot of uses of frames on the shark.
Yes.
So they're actually delivering it, and it sits above the markings on the mats. And of course, there's nothing in the rules that say you can't do that. There's very specific things in the rules saying that you can't actually put things inside to keep your shark upright. And all of these things are about reading the First Lego League rules, and there's a lot of conversation about the rules over a period of time, and a lot of debate, particularly in the regionals and leading up to the things like the UK finals. By this time, it's pretty much settled. You do get things that come out that surprise you, that people still question the rules. We've had some things about overhanging arms off tables today, but again, that's fine as long as arms come back in on their own accord and aren't brought back in. But no matter how many times you do line something up, and it'll work perfectly in practice, it doesn't always work, but you've probably got a better chance, and that's why they use a lot of things to
Little
guide
guides,
things. Little
absolutely.
guides, guiding
And,
things home.
You know, it's an amazing thing, isn't it? Because if you were setting it up without a guide, 1 millimeter movement there, as it starts rolling off, sort of translates into a big arc, and then suddenly your robot's not in the right position and it knocks things over rather than collects. So getting that starting position right, or using these light sensors or image sensors.
Absolutely. So there's a range of things. Light sensors are always interesting in bright environments or environments that you're new to. You can calibrate the sensors, but again, that takes time. So there's lots of different things. I'll be honest, on a personal level, I prefer the physicality of something and knowing that when I have to place it, I'm placing it there and there's a clear mark, it's up against something. And I think that's going to happen first time.
Every time, absolutely. Let's just take a quick look back at the scoreboard here if we can, John. I think they're going to bring it up on screen for us now. Here's the scoreboard. So we've got some teams running through here. Let's talk about some of these teams down here, because you know, some of these teams have come all the way from all over the world. They're doing some good runs here. But you know, their Ennerdale Engineers had a run yesterday that just went wrong. Didn't go great again today. I met them out in the town earlier on today, and they're really excited about day 3, I think, because they're moving. Their robots had a few issues and they're getting there. So a big shout out to them down from the Lake
absolutely.
District.
And there's, you know, I saw a team from Spain. They looked completely deflated on their second run because it all went wrong.
We saw that live, I think. It demolished the table.
I tell you, and they looked distraught, but they've gone away. They're having a rethink. Big shout out to Team Ireland, who had a difficult first round. In the second round today, full of energy, full of vigour, and full of celebrations at the end.
And you know, just quickly, just to reiterate there, it is International Women in Engineering Day, and the IET are running a 9% is not enough campaign, because out of all of the world's engineers, only 9% are women, and we need to get that figure up. But importantly there, just to remember, our team in the lead, the CSI Jedis, all the way over from Brazil, 6 out of 8 of the team are women.
Yeah, and what a performance.
It was amazing, and they were dancing and cheering in the background. We've got to get, I mean, this is a model here. We've got a live game now coming through.
So look at that, that's like a 3-tiered cake, that.
That's
they
amazing.
Put the layers on after layer, just getting it set. See the arm hanging over the table there?
Yeah,
There's
absolutely, a little guy. But look at this, they've got massive attachments. And this is another Brazilian team here.
They've brought an attachment trolley with them.
Yeah.
They've got so many.
This is like watching the full Formula One version of a robot.
It is.
And
we're not seeing a lot of the table.
Here we go, there we go. Look at this now, it's got an arm that comes out again, it moves, it's just...
so it's just fallen away.
Well, we say that, but we said that last time, and then it picked things up, went back and did the next part of it.
I don't think it's gone far enough, but I might be wrong. Panda's been released.
There we go,
and then go back.
Oh, and it's pushed it back. This hasn't gone quite right for them, I don't think. Something's broken off there, but it's taking the camera back there. We can see that attached.
But this is talking about your little millimeters that you talked about. You know, you're set off, you're a millimeter out. By the time you get to your milking station, you're 10 millimeters out.
And we just saw there, they just set it off there. They've got the red light sensors underneath, and there they are using a frame to guide them on the side there.
Absolutely, and look at the robot now. 50% of the robot's disappeared, smaller frame. Didn't quite get
the part on before it set off running. He's disappointed.
He looks disappointed.
Oh no, he smashed it. That's now that could upset the other team. Luckily, they're pulling it back. They've pulled it back over.
Yeah.
The robot's attached. Things are breaking. It's all going wrong. They've pulled it over.
We've had a big grab back. And
this has gone. I mean,
it's the excitement of First Lego League.
It breaks my heart, John. Though it breaks my heart.
But it's exciting for
the viewer, absolutely.
It's exciting for the viewer at home.
And this just shows how a few millimetres out and it can destroy the table.
It is, but they're still going. We're not quite sure why we're seeing a long shot now. Maybe the table's been completely taken out.
I think they've literally run away from that one, because that team there will be going away now. Back to a practice table, set up the robot again. They'll program it up, have a few goes, get a few goes in tomorrow, back on the table, round 3, see how they get on.
Yeah, I mean, there was a conversation earlier on, and it was on the commentary in the main room about whether people should tweak their robots or change their program. And that's a big decision to make. You know, little tweaks I'm kind of in favour of. I would look at that one and say maybe it wasn't a little tweak. It looked like they'd changed something quite substantial.
Or like we said earlier, they didn't quite start off in the right direction.
And it's gone off.
Absolutely.
It's difficult to tell. But great thing about First Lego League, time to reflect and have another go later on.
We were chatting to Team ROC over from Canada earlier, and Jeffrey, and he just threw out there, we've got 3 robots, all identical. They can be programming one, change it all around, and then the other 2, they keep as it was and see how it goes against it on the same table. That is dedication, though.
It is, and it's a good tactic. You know, things like batteries and things on robots make a big difference. We're seeing on the screen now a little replay from what's just gone on. In fact, we're getting a replay of the devastation that team put forward on their robot table. I like the fact that a hand comes in and just grabs the whole thing and pulls it away. And basically, they have decided that that's a robot that needs to retire. So, yep, they'll have to have definitely a rebuild and definitely a rethink. But it'll be interesting to see what points they actually get when it comes to the end of that particular session.
Well, John, I mean, that was a run that, you know, if that had been me, I would have probably walked away in tears. But these guys are so robust. They go away, they stay enthusiastic, they have a look at what's wrong and go again. We can hear, I think you could hear there in the background the Brazilian team coming through, and it doesn't matter how bad the run's been, what's gone wrong, they're pumping, they're going for it, and they look really excited. They're all going shush to each other now, but they can carry on. Give us a bit of music.
Oh, now you don't.
Oh, here they go. Now you can hear the music. That's fantastic. And then. There you go, that's how powerful we are here in the studio. We're going live to a game now. Let's keep in touch with what's going on. We've got 3 more rounds to go before the end of today.
We're just delivering the shark. We're talking about having the shark on a frame. And
that looked like it took a bounce. The thing about that bumpy bit there...
I know, it'll knock you off. You talk about your millimetres, that's knocking you off centimetres.
But what they did, went over it there, they immediately grab it, take it back and start another routine.
So they're taking the penalty and we're off again.
Absolutely fantastic. Here they go again, though. They're coming this way, they're trying again. and they're over. Now that presumably they pick a light sensor up here, they come round, and they're going to nudge this from the back, I think. Are they? Yes, look at that. And then they've spun it, and they're also, I don't know what they're doing here. And they've shut it, and then they're going to go forward. Look at that.
Yeah,
that's a completely different way of doing it.
Approach.
Haven't seen that before at all. That is a really complicated
and
way.
it's so nice to see, isn't it? You know, they're taking a different approach.
And it's
going to
beautiful.
be
Look at that. The robot going backwards and forwards, using light sensors, I would suggest there, to see how far to go.
Yeah.
And they've got it all out now. They flip over the top. They've got to collect all that food, though, haven't they?
Yeah,
John?
so that's the challenge of doing it from the back.
But let's see how they're going to do this.
They
And
can't
then,
get it on board.
oh wow, it's a big sweep, but they've missed a couple of pieces there, which
we were kind of wondering what that wavy bit on the top was when they set off, and actually it comes down, acts as a little broom. Very enthusiastic lady in the background.
And this is, I think this is the Peacock brothers over from Australia. Is it the Australian team? I don't know the name of the team, but it is the Australians. We had them down yesterday talking to us. We've got their flag here in the studio.
They're very keen on the flag because they've incorporated the
in
flag
their guide.
into the guide.
And here they go again now. It's Team Australia.
Oh, come on.
And they're going, look at this. Like, it's shuffle. That's right, Team Shuffle,
Team
because they've got
Shuffle,
FLE in there,
like
which is
it.
first, FLL rather, first leg of the league. Here we go.
Yeah.
They've got a
Here we
spinner
go.
on the
Just a
top
little
here.
Spin. Oh, we're going to go.
They drop down some food.
Yep.
And
not quite sure that the spin
I don't
was
think
on
the
there.
spin happened there. We'll look
Maybe
at that in
we'll catch that
replay,
in the
maybe at the
replay.
end. Absolutely.
Got 33 seconds.
And you can see there's a lot of Australian support over here
Yeah,
in the
long way to
UK.
come.
You know, I believe some of their grannies and grandmas and grandpas and things are over here in the UK. So that's fantastic. They're actually got some great support down here in the arena.
Yeah.
Look at
Wow,
this.
look at that for an attachment.
I
There
really
you
wanted
go.
to see this go. So let's see if they can get this attachment on in
14
time.
seconds. Come on, 12.
A big shout out to the
Maybe
Australian
not gonna do
viewers.
much, but let's see it. Give it a shot.
I think it's about 5 o'clock in the morning over there in Australia. So
Oh,
if
they'll
you're
all
watching,
be awake.
Absolutely, in the winter apparently down there. And they're setting off. We're going to see some replays now of the Australian team. John, talk us through some of the things here.
Okay, well, this was something we've not really seen before. And we didn't really see enough of it there, but fantastic technique in getting the pieces out from the back and then using that little appendage on the robot to come down and sweep up. You can see now they're actually building their robot up there. We're back to the milking, which is great. Great to see. Little sweep back and home. Didn't get everything back, which is obviously a challenge of that particular technique.
I can see that this robot, if they didn't run out of time, if everything went smoothly, would be a big scoring robot. But it just has those things on it that if something goes wrong, it affects everything, doesn't it?
I know, Mark, but that's the thing about First Lego League. We want teams to come and try different things. Otherwise, we're going to sit and watch the same thing
Absolutely.
over and over again and just do things the way everybody does it, first time, every time. I'd much rather see that. I'd much rather see teams that are on the edge, trying things, new approaches. We've seen that with the chucking out of manure, shooting across the room. We're seeing that there with going a different way around to actually use a
we can
mechanism.
show that here now. I mean, you know, the majority of the people that we see do this particular task.
Yeah.
We'll put the helicopter back over that side
will
if you don't mind.
relocate
Brilliant.
it by my water.
The most people come up to it, they grab hold of these here from the front, pull it out.
Yeah.
We have got some of the chips on here. Here we go. Here's some of the food.
Yeah.
We'll just drop that in if I can, if I can get this
feeding
right.
machine.
Here we go. We'll drop those in. So basically, they drive up. They normally grab it from the front, don't they?
Yeah.
Pull that. Have something here that it lands in.
And that's the advantage of doing it that way, let's be honest about it, because
You can have a bucket, as it were, here, and it drops in.
And you've also got a nice short distance, because the thing about a Lego brick, you know, you might think it's going to go there, but the time it's cracked off.
Well, the next
surface,
one goes there, and the
it
next
does.
one goes somewhere else. And they were doing it from this side over here, and pushing and pulling at the same time, which was just phenomenal. And then they came around here and had a big arm and tried to sweep up, and it just didn't work for them today. But if that works, we would go mental, because that is a fantastic, ingenious way of doing it.
And we can kind of go nuts because they tried it.
Yeah,
to be honest.
exactly.
And that's the nice thing about it. And
Absolutely.
you know, there'll be people watching these things and looking at the techniques that people are using, and they'll appear next year in next year's challenge as solutions. People will take other people's solutions, they'll refine them to a new mat, and we'll see those sort of techniques. And that's what it's about. It's about learning from people, pushing the envelope, and maybe not getting there in this moment, but at least they're having a go.
So there's been some fantastic runs there. I think we've got some more runs coming up for you as soon as we can over here. Let's take a quick look now at the leaderboard. Let's have a look at the scoreboard if we can, up on the screen, and the scoreboard's coming in. It's still the Sesai Jedis over from Brazil
No,
there.
I mean, look at that. Both scores in the 300s.
I know, and to improve as well. To get a 309 and then go a 349. And they reckon they've got a 376 in them.
Yep, and nobody else can do that, can they? Because I'm looking at all the other scores. And
Well, the Caro Aces, they were saying to us that they can improve on the 332 tomorrow.
Yeah, they can, but what I'm saying is, at the moment, there's only one team that can get over 300 in all 3 rounds.
Absolutely, and that would be the Flaming...
Sesai Jedis.
And the Flaming Phoenix.
Oh, the Flaming
Is that a
Phantom,
naught?
then?
Have
Yeah,
they
well,
gone yet?
I would have said that it is, but maybe it isn't. It can't be a naught at this point.
No, I don't think it could be. I think what will happen there is that they
That will
might still be
fill
to
in.
come. So here we're running now with the game. We've got 2 minutes 25 on the clock.
Do
so
we
we're right
know
there
who
again.
this is?
We'll find out in a second if we can, but this is an interesting robot. It looks good, it's compact, and it's going to go straight here onto the machine. Look at the way they're doing that.
So there we go, the opposite of what we were just talking about, and looks like every piece in there and collected.
And
So-
taken straight back.
Yeah.
That was beautifully done. Look at that. They take that out the way.
Yeah,
They
lovely
move-
little swap out. Another frame for the shark.
Here we go.
Order of the day seems to be the frame.
I know, they run over the guides, they run there, they drop it
Yeah.
in position, they haven't knocked the shark over, it comes back, they turn over the thing, and they're there. Now they look for some light sensors, presumably. Oh!
Yeah, and that
Never mind,
is-
abort
yeah,
that, go
take the
back, that's
penalty,
fine.
Go back, stick a new frame on.
New frame on here, John. This looks like it's going to be good. Again, they're setting off. They haven't got a guide on at this point, so let's see what they do. They're going to set straight off. It looks like they're delivering some humans here and some
Final
New
little adjustment.
Oh, they have got a
They
guide.
have got a
There we
little
are,
guide,
John.
yeah.
There's a guide here. They're getting it in position. Don't rush it. And they're going to set off now.
So tempting just to press that button, but
Yeah.
you've got to get it right.
There we are, and that's gone beautifully over there. It looks like they're going to do more than one thing here.
Yep, so we
they're
are
turning it around as they go.
doing
Look at
our
this.
milking.
Doing the milking. They picked up another person. They
Yeah.
come over here. Oh, unlucky.
Failed
What a
to get him-
shame.
Failed to get him on the wall.
Never mind. They've come down. They've dropped
I
the
mean, Mark,
humans.
not just doing 2 or 3, 4 or 5 things in one go off this one.
And, look,
Absolutely
and
fantastic.
open. This is incredible.
Yeah,
The way
didn't quite open with the power.
and the seals in the back
And
there
the
with the
seals in the
camera.
back.
Absolutely
Fantastic.
sensational.
Look at that. There you go. He's home. Another frame coming on.
There's so much going on with some of these robots that we actually can't keep up with
I
seeing
mean,
what
look-
they're doing.
Look at the width of this robot as well, Mark. And actually, there's more to come. Here's the third piece.
We've got 40 seconds on the clock. I
Yeah.
really want to see what they're doing here. They've got a big attachment going on here. They're going to run straight across now. Let's have a look. Here
Taking
they
a lot
come.
of time.
It's rolled off. That was
Rolled off.
fine though. It rolled off, but it's fine. It's dropped
Yeah.
that manure over. That's fine. It's put that on
Still
top.
moving.
It's
Still
delivered
delivered
our
our
little
little
friend.
farmyard friend.
And they got the bee on there at the same
Yeah,
time.
and we
then.
leave the frame behind. We get the robot back. And have they got time?
20 seconds to
One
deliver
more
that. This is a great
delivered.
run. They're
It's
getting
great.
points all the time here.
Yeah,
What are they
keep
doing
climbing
now?
on. Another frame on top.
They've still got more
Mark,
frames
I've lost
to
track
go.
of what's to do.
They've got
They've
10
got
seconds
10.
on the clock. We're getting excited
go.
for them.
It's
Come on,
going
what are they
back.
doing? Where are they going?
To the right, the frame. Is it going?
It's delivered
to
some
the-
food. It's delivered some food. I think that's what it's just done. It's delivered food over there
Yeah,
and more
straight
food.
in, and we're
What a
right.
run.
Well
That
done.
was
Great
fantastic. Really nailing it right there at the end. That was
And
superb, wasn't
and
it?
again, Mark, as you watch it, you're thinking, no, it's not going to happen. But actually, there's another part of the robot doing the work.
And just to stay calm, there was like 14 seconds left on the clock there, and they stayed calm enough to press the button, keep it in line, set it off, and they delivered 4 lots of food in that last 10 seconds.
Amazing.
I think we got some replays here. This was a shame. It was going really, really well. Something went wrong there,
It
just
was,
a
and
touch.
you can't quite see. Probably at the rear of the robot, you'll see what it got caught
And
on.
it just missed the
And it just
gecko.
failed to
Oh,
deliver
here
the
we go.
gecko.
It was doing it. It just caught on. Oh, what a shame. It was really
But again,
sad
Mark,
to
if
see
that
that.
had come back perfectly, it would have dropped on.
Absolutely right.
It would have
Absolutely right.
dropped
And this bit here, just talk us through this, John.
So this bit here, you can see the amount of time, Mark, they're taking to put their frame on. They've sent it forward. You're watching the arm here with our little farmyard friend to deliver it. Even sending it down a little chute, Mark.
Fantastic, to get
deliver
it to
in
land
place.
in the right place.
Going down like a little luggage chute. Fantastic.
And this was it.
End to end.
Just try and have
Oh,
a look
this
what
is where
went
it went wrong.
Just a shame. It was just
Must
there
have
with
just
it.
caught
Something
on
at
the
the
rib.
back
I would have
end.
said, yeah, the rear
And
side
that
right, and
knocked
that
it
left
off.
it short at
left
the back.
it short. Absolutely, absolutely. But that again, if they can go away and just, this was great here. Look at the way they picked up
Yeah.
the seal, caught it in, pulled it up close, took it back.
And that, Mark, was the end of a whole series of things that they've done in one clean
Exactly.
sweep.
And
great
there we
that
are.
people leave the frames. Just,
Look
you know,
at it
abandon them.
rolling. Our little friend there
Yeah.
was superb. So
Perfect
John,
little delivery.
quickly let's flick back now to the scoreboard if we can, and we'll just throw the scoreboard up here. Let's have a quick look. The guys are going to throw that up for us now. Here we go. And I was just saying earlier, SSI Jedi still there up there at the moment. And so there we are, the Flaming Phoenix were on 0 before.
Yeah, so they got their
that was a
279.
279.
They got their 279, so yeah.
But look at the Cadmaze creators there, 233 up to 293. If they do an improvement like that tomorrow, they could go up into the lead.
Oh,
We've got to keep that going. So we've got the last game coming up now. Let's see what we can do here for the last game.
Yeah.
It has been frenetic all day here. We have been 4 hours or 3.5 hours non-stop games.
The question is, have we saved the best till last?
Let's have a look here. They're going straight out. They're going to go for a scoop, I believe. Oh, it's gone wrong for them there. It's gone wrong for them.
A little bit there, so a little bit of a reset. Get it
Cleverly
back.
there, they've removed some of the items, offending items from the table so that they don't get in the way of the next run.
Yep.
That's good, that's good. This is a big arm to have on the front of your robot, though. This is scary.
It is, and it's taken them quite a bit of time to get it set.
Yeah,
But
here
once
it goes.
It's set, that's absolutely
Here it goes.
fantastic. And I have a feeling that's gone wrong again for them. Mark, it seems that's a better turn. And we've made it to the feeding.
Here we go,
machine.
and that's
Great
where it
stuff.
should have done it, and then it
And
would have
first
pulled that
time.
back. Absolutely right.
But we're 40 seconds in,
And they're
they've
putting
got
it
what
back.
they
You can
wanted,
see
and
that now. Watch
hopefully that
this.
little arm will take it all the way back. Keep going.
And it was using
Just
the
about,
flexibility there
absolutely.
to hold it against the wall.
Yeah, and it took the
Absolutely
natural course of the table. So here we go. We got a different frame on now. Getting it in place, dominating the table with their frames. Come on, get that on the top.
Wow, look at the size of that frame.
Honestly, Mark, the speed at which they do that, until you actually try it yourselves, you've no idea what a skill that is. Absolutely fantastic.
It's literally like Formula One and wheel changing, isn't it? So they're trying to deliver something there at the same time
just not getting their delivery right. That's the second time that they've set off and it's not quite made it. Is it going to do it this time? Yep, that's much better. So straight through there, it's picking up the line, using your little sensors on the front colour.
And here it's going to do. This is going to do the breeding program.
A little switch. Go on.
Excellent. We can hear there people getting excited about the Lego convention in the background.
Oh, good.
And that's wonderful to hear. But we're watching a live game here in the studio.
Yeah, just need to give it a final little nudge.
Just needed a flick round there at the end.
I
didn't
thought
it?
on
Just
the third
needed...
time, and he's bringing it back. Wow.
Look at the size of this attachment.
Yeah.
I mean, this is getting
This could be the attachment of the day.
What is it going to do?
I'll be honest,
though?
Mark,
This is
I've travelled
phenomenal.
abroad with luggage less than that size. That's amazing.
Wow.
And I can't, it's all happening inside.
We can't
And
even
the
see
little
what's going on there.
Little robot emerges.
And it's taken
And
the
taken
bridge
something
back
with
with them. That was phenomenal. I have no idea what it did there.
Well, maybe on the replay we'll be able to see it, but that's an interesting thing.
Oh, they're
in terms of
shooting.
that
No, they were
outfit.
shooting them and you're into it.
Yep.
It's a
Did it
big
go
bucket.
across?
It's effectively a bucket that's...
No, that's a fantastic idea. So we've seen the sail, we've now seen the bucket.
And that was
I'm not
awesome.
quite
We're going to
sure.
go to the scores now, John. Let's have a look at what the scores are. And the scores, this is looking like all the scores are coming in here. I think that last thing we saw might be either Heffy or one of the others. But the SSI Jedis are the team of the day. Round 2 today, round 1 yesterday. We've got round 3 tomorrow, so everyone still has the opportunity to improve.
Germans are still up there in a strong position, which is good to see.
So SSI Jedi is a really good link into our next thing. There are 6 girls out of 8 on that team.
Yep.
It is the International Women in Engineering Day today, and the IET are really pushing 9% is not enough, which is all about the fact that 9% of world engineers are female, and that is not enough. We need to improve that. Let's go to a VT that will tell you more about the 9% is not enough campaign.
Currently in the UK, only 9% of engineers are women. That is not enough. I'm here at the first LEGO League IOC to ask female competitors why and how we can get more girls interested in engineering.
Women bring a different perspective to the game than men do, and it helps in the project, it helps in core values, and it helps in the robot design.
With only men now, people just think that only men can be engineers. And I think girls can work that hard too.
We can show them girls working in robotics and girls working in engineering.
Do more competitions like this one, because it gets more girls involved.
You think that women can be good doctors? Why not women can be good engineers? And these 9% who are the engineers, they must be doing great in their field. They must be doing great in their organizations. So it's all about your mindset. You need to think differently. That's it.
9% is not enough.
So that's our 9% is not enough campaign. We want to see more and more of young women going through to engineering. It's really important to get that balance 50-50. We're working hard towards it. What a day here at Bath University in the Sports Training Village. It is a fantastic venue. It's enormous. I can't explain how big it is. It takes 5 minutes to walk from one end of one arena to the other end of the practice arena. It is sensational. There's been excitement everywhere. We've seen so many teams improve on yesterday. We've seen some teams have a few problems, but they'll go away tonight. They'll work tomorrow morning, and they've got the third round to have another go tomorrow and see if they can post an amazing score. I think the team story of the day has got to be the SSI Jedis. We've talked about it all day. It's International Women in Engineering Day, and 9% is not enough, and we've talked about that. You've just seen a video. SSI engineers all the way from Brazil. 6 out of 8 of the team are young women and really excited about engineering, and they've posted a fantastic score. There they are on 3, 4, 9 points. Tomorrow morning, we're back at 10 a.m, by the way. Don't think it's a 3 o'clock start. It is 10 o'clock tomorrow. If you go to www.firstlegoleague.co.uk, you can find the links for tomorrow's live, or go onto Facebook Live and search for First Lego League IOC Championships. You'll find us there. 10 a.m. start. We'll be live again tomorrow. What a day. The teams have all had a fantastic day. We've seen loads of people here in the studio. Thanks to all of them. Don't forget SpaceX tonight, launching and trying to land it in the middle of the ocean, 7 p.m. UK time. What a day. Thank you for tuning in. And here are the links for tomorrow. See you then. What a day.